Okay, let's get started.
Just raise your glasses high. This one's sweet.
Amy.
Riley.
Oh, that one was nice. Ever since you said that, it sounds like the one guy who was clicking bottles and going into Nancy Pelosi's office. I feel like I shouldn't do that anymore.
That is a scary image.
But it doesn't sound fully like that, right?
No, and I would know I was there.
What, the insurrection? Oh, yeah, I remember. I forgot. We never talked about that.
That's where we met.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right, January 6th. That's amazing. Well, it's been, like we were talking about just off mic right before, it seems like it's been a long time since you and I spoke or saw each other or interacted, right?
1 week.
One full week?
But a week, almost 2 weeks since we recorded, right?
Right, because Saturday we saw each other at Emo Nite, right?
Was that Friday?
Oh, right.
Last Friday.
That was Friday.
Okay, so that's...
So it's been a full week since we saw each other. And then even before that, we hadn't recorded anything since Monday before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So this is sort of, I don't know.
We're all bottled up and ready to blast you with Bravo information and hot takes.
Yeah, let's blast them. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, so you're doing good generally?
Yeah. Chilling. It's pretty hot. My apartment's not completely uninhabitable yet.
No.
But it's warm in here.
I'd say it's probably 78 degrees in here.
Yeah.
Right? Not 80.
There's still a little bit of a breeze, a little
Yeah.
bit, and I have a fan on.
It
But
doesn't feel bad to me. I'm wearing a t-shirt and I'm not sweating.
Brooks and Dawn t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing a new Brooks and Dawn t-shirt that just came in the mail, which is our Turtle Time merch. It looks beautiful. It's Brooks Ayers and Dawn Gunvalson, and they are wearing cowboy hats, right?
Yeah.
And then they have fire surrounding them and sort of a faded American flag behind them.
Yes. We'll get into OC, but they did a little Brooks clip this week.
I saw that. I was kind of excited. I love his accent. I forgot how he talks.
Yeah. He was such an iconic figure. Honestly, I guess that is what made, I was going to say, New Jersey now has a Brooks-like figure, and that's what made it so good. We need more
mysterious
scammers like that.
They're Tamara's trying to make Ryan the new Brooks. He's not even close.
No, he's just kind of like a shitbag, but he's not like demonic.
We learned some interesting new things about Ryan
That's
this
true.
week.
He is getting less and less trustworthy, but
Yeah,
not as much of like a snake oil salesman. Did you watch Meghan King on Watch What Happens Live?
Just a few minutes of it. I don't know what happened. My eyes started to close. But what did she say?
Someone asked her about her thoughts on Louis from New Jersey, and she said she had fighting words for him. She was like, I forget what she said, but essentially she was like, he's a disgusting piece of shit. He's not to be trusted. He's a scumbag. Like, I don't know if she has additional information or if just as a viewer, she really strongly hates people like that.
Oh, okay.
But I would love, again, for her to be part of our PI show.
Oh, because
It could be her, Bo Dietl, working with Conover and Catania.
Because she fully, on her own, uncovered the Brooks cancer scam, right?
Yeah.
She looked at his medical records. She found out that the typeface on the top of the
They were
results
like, that hospital doesn't do those kinds of tests anymore, and when they do, this is what the invoice looks like, and his is wrong, and the language on it was all wrong. Her and Shannon were two teaming him. Remember, Shannon got him an appointment with a world-renowned doctor, and he said his car broke down on the way.
Oh my God,
that shit was good.
That was so wild. But didn't they try to introduce it was a scam with a psychic saying that it was?
Yeah, they go to a cafe and bring a psychic, and he's like, I'm sensing someone that is saying they have cancer doesn't. Does that ring a bell to you?
No, it doesn't at all. There's not someone who's saying they has cancer right now. Was that just so they had plausible deniability if it looked horrible, like when Lisa Rinna accused Yolanda of not having Munchausen? It's it gives them an out. Hey, a psychic told us.
Watching it back, when the last time I watched Beverly Hills, probably, I don't know when, maybe a year ago, it is. I don't know where I totally fall on it, but it is diabolical to accuse someone of having Munchausen, but it was great TV.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it was great. What was great for me was that Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump clearly talked to Lisa Rinna about this and had very strong opinions and definitely nudged Rinna in the direction of Munchausen, and they were skeptical and they knew it'd be great TV. And then the scene where Lisa Rinna talks to them about it possibly being Munchausen, they are so silent and they
They act like
They
horrified.
don't say one word of a support of this. They make Lisa Rinna go out on a
They
fucking...
hang her out to dry.
Oh, no one has ever been hung out to dry with something that they probably all were talking about right before.
That's like what they invited her over for.
Oh, yeah, and then Rinna is actually right when she later says, "I realized I was a puppet or a pawn for
which
Vanderpump."
is kind of Vanderpump's thing, right?
Yeah.
She
what's that? Throw a stone and hide your hand.
Oh,
Or you know what I'm talking about?
I've never heard that.
Me neither, and I don't think that's actually
Well,
right. But she is the.
There's a Kelly Dodd quote where I don't remember who she's talking about, but she says, she's the puppet and everyone's the master.
Yeah.
Like she says it wrong.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wait, who said that again?
Kelly Dodd.
Oh, she said that.
She says it with such confidence, but she says it backwards.
Who was she talking about?
I don't remember. Was it maybe
Vicky?
or Heather? I don't know.
Vicky
I don't
doesn't-
remember.
Vicky
Maybe it was
does-
Vicky.
Yeah, I mean Tamra. Tamra is the most puppet master-esque.
Maybe. Which, yeah, we'll get into that. I guess we'll save OC. But yeah. So honestly, I'm getting hyped up now that we're talking about all of this.
What
and
about OC?
Just everything.
Yeah. Oh, like just the Bravo meter
Yes.
just turned up a little bit.
And
I feel that way too.
our fandom has been tested this morning when the BravoCon ticket prices dropped.
Oh.
How much do we love
Bravo.
Bravo? They
Okay.
are taking it to the goddamn limit.
I mean, I will say the VIP prices are out of this world, and they cannot. I mean, unless we were millionaires, we're not
Yeah.
buying
It's
VIP.
$1,200 for a 3-day VIP.
Yeah, I mean that's for rich people, and
But
I
I'm
will
just afraid that similar to Disneyland, you will be punished for not being VIP, and that the GA is like torture.
Hopefully,
You know what I
they'll-
mean?
Yeah, of course. Hopefully, the fast pass insignia or placards will be very easy to duplicate, and so you and I can very quickly, at the turn of a dime, what's that phrase? Very quickly replicate the placards or orange wristbands or whatever. And plus, maybe people will be so sweet to us, like little turtle cuties in line, and say, "Amy and Riley, sneak up in front of me," or whatever. Or you and I
Yeah.
could do disguises.
Maybe we can do like a catch me if you can and start forging documents, you know?
Oh,
We should get the machine that makes holographic
yes.
passes and stuff like that.
Yes. Let's do a full blown what's that called? Yeah, catch me if you can. Forgery.
Yeah. Remember when he buys the Pan Am toy
of
planes and he
course.
soaks them and he takes the little sticker off and puts them on the checks?
I'll
That's
never
like my favorite part.
Me too. I'll never forget it.
I love scammers.
Everything he does. Me too. But did you hear that man, whatever that guy's name was, what's his name?
Frank
Lipnicki?
Abagnale Jr.
He lied about
Yeah.
all those things he did.
Don't.
I know. I'm sorry, but he scammed Spielberg and he scammed.
But does he truly work for the government now? Like they say then?
I mean, that thing about them being friends for 40 years, I don't know. That. Oh, no. What's his name? Tom Hanks was a composite character.
Oh.
I'm sorry. It sucks so bad. Tom Hanks wasn't even real. He was like
Hanratty?
Hanratty. Oh.
Hanratty?
I love Hanratty.
I fucking love that movie.
When he goes, knock, knock. Remember that part?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself? That he says.
Or go fuck yourself.
I think that's the only fuck uttered in the movie because it's PG-13. You only get
They
one
saved it.
extreme swear word in a PG-13.
Ugh, that movie's great. Come on.
I know. It's amazing. Leo.
I mean, you're telling me in real life he didn't escape on a landing plane through the toilet?
No.
Come on.
I wanted to believe when I watched that. I go, I can't. This is. Truth is stranger than fiction. You can't write this stuff, but it turns out they really did.
That was like a peak in our culture, I feel.
Oh,
That was the last age of innocence.
What do you mean? that we believe that?
it was so fun. It was
Yeah.
like jazzy, like Spielberg was still
Da-na-na-na.
popping. The music's so good. Leo's on top of his game.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's peak Leo.
Yeah, Leo also was able to play a 16-year-old boy
Yeah.
as well as a 30-year-old. That was
Yeah.
a perfect time. where
Those
Leo
days
could-
are long gone.
Why he can't play 16-year-old anymore?
They'd have to Irishman him.
Whoa, that's gonna be interesting.
I will
when
say that technology is getting there because Dial of Destiny, gotta say, not 100% in certain times, but a lot of the time, really good.
But do they keep his current voice so he sounds a lot older than he should?
I think they use, I think it's like literal AI where they have his
Oh, right.
past performances from that time where I think they affect the
Is it like
vocal too.
I'm Indiana Jones? Right? It's like that.
Yeah, I was a little bit Frankenstein.
You know what? So that's the peak possibly of this de-aging. The descent of the aging technology was Robert De Niro in Irishman. Do you remember the scene where he's beating up that guy out of the
Stiff as a
shop?
board.
He
He's
can-
like 2,000 years old.
he's got his arms all crooked and he can barely move his legs, and it's like the worst thing I've ever seen.
I can't believe they opened. Sorry, this is the Irishman minute. They opened the movie on him Irishman, and
They-
you're like, no, it
Yeah.
looks like shit.
Yeah, they open him in the old nursing home,
Okay.
and then it takes
Then
you
him
out
in
of
the
it
truck.
so fast because it just looks bad.
Yeah.
He looks, I don't know.
I didn't hate that movie though. I'm being honest with you.
No, I love
liked it.
Irishman. I told you I saw it in theaters at 11 p.m. and it's the
Oh my
longest
God.
movie in the world. So by 2
You should have
a.m.
seen it at 11 a.m.
I know. Yeah, the opposite of what I did. So I was so tired, and I was like, Martin Scorsese, please stop this now. It's a good movie, but please end it while you still can. But now that I had a more casual viewing and I was able to watch it, it rips. I mean, it's
Yeah,
great.
I was emotionally moved by the end.
Yeah, Al Pacino's great. Great. in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, fun. Excited for Flower Moon.
Oh, I think that's one of the only movies I'm excited about. Well, that and Napoleon now. Did you see
Oh,
Napoleon?
I didn't
trailer?
watch the trailer yet.
Oh, you're gonna
Does it look
flip
good? Who directed
out.
that?
Ridley Scott.
Hell yeah.
So, Joaquin Phoenix went from being an evil Commodus in Gladiator. You saw Gladiator,
Yeah.
right? He was Ridley Scott's. Yeah, he goes like this. YouTube. He goes.
Thumbs down.
Yeah. That means
Gladiator rips.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ridley Scott is also making Gladiator 2.
Oh
No one
right,
can
with
stop-
Paul Mescal.
Yes. No one can stop Ridley Scott. He's like 83 years old, and he's directing.
I know. I don't know if we already talked about this. And sorry that we usually save the film talk for the Patreon, but I loved. Forgot the name of it.
a Ridley Scott film.
The
House of
Adam
Gucci?
Driver, Matt Damon one.
Oh, Adam Driver, Matt Damon. They're in a film together.
The medieval
Last
duel.
Duel. Last Duel was awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, you think Adam
It
Driver?
got a bad
Yeah.
COVID release.
You think Adam Driver is going to secretly be the hero and that he obviously did not rape her
Yeah.
or whatever? You're like, he's the hero, Matt Damon's the stinker.
Yeah.
And no, Adam Driver is worse than Matt Damon, and
Yeah.
Matt Damon is still really
Well,
bad.
it depends which version. It's the. I felt like. Did we not already talk about this?
No. No, it is.
What's the Japanese movie Rashomon?
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
the
think
full Rashomon.
Yes, but I think you believe her. Jodie Clemmer. What's her name?
I don't believe women.
Oh, no, I think in that movie you're supposed to specifically believe her.
No, her version's very upsetting, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what happened.
I thought that was the most unique part about it, that it wasn't that they were both awful and that they're fighting each other, but no one gets the honor because Matt Damon is just as awful as.
Yeah.
That movie looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you like
Dark
House
as
of
can be.
Yeah, did you like House of Gucci?
I had a fun time.
Oh man, I loved it. I was screaming in the theater. I was having so much fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. It's pretty silly, honestly, but fun.
Yeah. So then I was just Joaquin Phoenix ascent to, A+ star or whatever. He was Commodus, the villain in Gladiator, and now he gets to be the hero, star of Napoleon for Ridley Scott. It's kind of a nice
Funny
full circle.
that you're bringing up Napoleon because I was just saying that Candy's old tagline would be perfect for Napoleon if he was on Real Housewives. I may be small, but my empire keeps on growing.
That is perfect. He wouldn't do the
Ho!
Why couldn't he?
I may be small, ho, but my empire keeps on growing.
That's perfect. I think more figures from history should be associated with certain.
Yeah,
Bravo
that would be a good
taglines.
sketch.
For who?
Like SNL, NBC.
Do you think people would know Real Housewives enough to where that could be a sketch for the whole
I
world?
mean, they should. They've done more obscure stuff than that. Remember when they would do the Mad Men sketch when like no one on earth watched Mad Men at the very beginning?
Yeah, what they watch is not representative of what's fully popular in culture, but
Yeah.
it
They had
appeals to-
John Hamm host when like season 1 of Mad Men or something, and I was like, I literally didn't know who he was.
You weren't watching Mad Men then?
Not yet.
Oh wow.
I must have started after that,
And
but
then you
I didn't know who John Hamm was.
And then you fully got into the Mad Men craze.
Yes, I did. But yeah, wait, how did we get here?
So we were talking about de-aging
BravoCon?
technology. Oh, let's finish what we were talking about BravoCon because it's the de-aging. Or no, sorry, we weren't talking about
Catch me if
de-aging.
you can.
We were talking about de-aging at BravoCon.
We're on a tangent
Yeah.
today. We were talking about conning our way into BravoCon.
Well, I'm gonna pay.
BravoCon.
Con. They specifically want people to pull schemes and cons. Well, so I was saying 550 to me, it's a lot. Obviously a lot of money. But you split that for 3 days worth of events.
Yeah.
I did the math.
Yeah.
I got on my calculator. I did 550 divided by 3.
Yeah.
183.33. So you're paying $183.30 to go to a bunch of panels, see a bunch of Bravo celebrities, Craig Conover, Shep Rose, who are some other ones? Candace, Vicky Gunvalson,
Yeah.
Lisa Rinna,
Yeah.
Catherine Dennis,
Kyle Cook.
Kyle Cook. Hypothetically, we see all these people. I think 180 for a day's worth of activities. Plus, we're going to be partying our asses off.
Yeah.
In Vegas, which is, you can have, like, even if we didn't want to go to a panel, if let's say hypothetically it's Jennifer Aiden and Gina Kirshner. What's Gina's last name? Kirshner?
Something like that.
And it's like the battle of Gina and Jennifer.
Kirschenheiner or something.
And it's like the battle versus Gina versus Jen.
Squash
Aiden.
the beef.
Squash the beef. We don't have to go to that
Yeah.
panel. We can race over to Vanderpump Rules
Yeah.
or go play craps. We can try to win our money back.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That won't go wrong for us. We're going to pull a full Kim Zolciak. Do you think she's going to go? She needs the cash.
Oh, she will be there.
Can
Oh,
we
yeah.
talk about that too at some point? Can we put a pin in that?
With the OG thing or Chris and Croy? Kim and Croy.
Kim and Croy.
Of course we can talk about that. We're going to talk about that OG dinner in Atlanta.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and also we can divide and conquer maybe, be like, because I bet a lot of it happens at the same time.
If we're press, do you want to wear those hats that have the little square piece of paper that says press?
Yeah.
And have notebooks,
Little notebooks, yeah.
with pencils.
And wear
also
a trench coat.
Like,
They'll kick us out.
well, first of all, I don't think we can wear trench coats, but we can dress sort of like old timey, like 1920s. I don't think we should wear like Matrix style
Trench
trench
coat.
coats. The minute you see people, especially in Vegas, wearing trench coats, you're out of there. First of all, they think you have multiple hands. That you have, they think that you have hands with poker chips in your hands under your trench coat, and then you're using fake hands or whatever, Or they think you're 3 kids stacked up on top of each other.
Yeah.
Right. Trench coats have the worst rap in the world.
Shady.
You're either a bunch of kids on top of each other. You have fake hands, so you're using fake hands, to not show what you're
Or
holding.
your Columbine.
So
Yeah, but we'll work our way in.
but don't you think the impact of us, if we get press passes and we look specifically like 1930s newspaper reporters, there's
Yeah.
some sort of merit to that?
Yeah, I feel like that's a very 40s film trope of
Right.
like undercover reporter, like in Roman Holiday or.
I haven't seen that.
I feel like there's so many movies where someone's low key a reporter, and then
Yeah.
maybe they fall in love.
I've only seen like 3 1940s movies. Oh, there's that one screwball comedy newspaper one, the first page or the front page. Is that the one?
Oh,
I don't know. But yeah, they're all.
Is His Girl Friday like that?
His Girl Friday is a newspaper comedy, right?
And a Girl Friday is like a secretary, right?
Oh, right. I was just going to ask you, what's a Girl Friday?
I'm choking. I bet Lisa likes movies like that.
Do you think?
I bet she loves like Audrey Hepburn movies.
But we have no idea.
Still don't know.
And I looked on the internet after you and I talked about it. There is no record of Lisa ever seeing a movie. This is a tangent, but Letterboxd, they tweeted out that they got Tom Cruise to name his top 4 films, his top 4 Letterboxd films. And Tom Cruise is someone where I have no clue what kind of movies
What do
they
you
like.
say?
They haven't announced it yet. They're like waiting to
Oh.
fully release it. But because he says he loves movies.
Yeah.
He
You're like,
claims,
prove it,
but
bitch.
yeah, but I don't know. One movie, he seems like the kind of person that maybe only watches his own movies. So what if he was like The Firm, Mission Impossible 1, Eyes Wide Shut,
Magnolia. No, I think he's a true movie lover. I believe him.
But did you see that video where I didn't send it to you, but he's going, I love popcorn. I love movies.
Popcorn.
You saw that? I mean, that's the kind of stuff you say if you don't really
You don't believe him?
If I was trying to get away with never seeing a movie and I wanted to pretend like I did, I would say I love movies and I love popcorn.
What is he? No, I almost called him the chairman of the board, but David Miscavige is the chairman of the board, and Tom Cruise got the what is it? Freedom Medal of Valor.
Yeah, from them
is what the chairman of the board gave to him.
Yeah, David Miscavige was missing for a minute.
He was.
He was. Well, I don't even know if.
Do you think he was with Shelley?
Yeah, they still don't know where Shelley is.
Do you think she's alive?
But yeah, of course she's alive. I just think the press doesn't know where she is or whatever. But Scientology has really gone way down in terms of being
down in the dumps.
discussed. I mean, it's like not popular at all anymore.
No, I'm trying to think. Who are the celebrities left? Tom
Danny
Cruise.
Masterson.
Oh well, bye.
The Heidi something from SNL.
Chloe Fineman.
Sorry. Yeah, Chloe Fineman. Tom Cruise. John Travolta, is he still in it? Or did he leave after
I think they still have their thumb on him, but he doesn't like talk about it.
Yeah. They're not, I don't think they're getting new recruits.
Is Beck out?
Beck is probably still in.
Okay.
Beck? Yeah.
Giovanni Ribisi?
Oh, I'm sure. Should we say one? No. Okay, I won't. Yeah, I know a couple others.
Lindsay Hubbard.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Did you? We got a cease and desist. You can't say that anymore.
I'm just saying. I'm thinking of the Hubbard family.
What? Because why? Because L. Ron Hubbard, and apparently
Hubbard,
and apparently one of the Bravo celebrities was born in Clearwater, Florida, around the exact same time that L. Ron Hubbard.
I think
was having.
I'm going to say it right here. Allegedly.
Yeah, of course.
Lindsay Hubbard was born on the Sea Org in international waters.
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard apparently took multiple wives up top when he was in his boating era. You know, he was in international waters and he was escaping government persecution, and apparently he bedded down a wonderful woman. I don't know her name, but apparently sources are saying that Lindsay Hubbard was born of L. Ron Hubbard and this woman's night of passion, and then she was dropped off at a hospital with a hospital or no
bassinet. They floated her down a river.
That's not what I heard. I heard she was dropped off at a fire station in a bassinet, and they had to. One of the firemen raised her.
Oh.
Isn't that sweet? Did you hear Down the River? Like Moses in the basket? Bastard in the basket, like in There Will Be Blood. Damn, we're having it's a movie talk today. We're ready to talk about.
Okay, our turtles that join us not for the movie line minute. We usually paywall those kinds of conversations. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we done with BravoCon?
I think so. I'm excited to see the lineup, though.
We're in our forgery era.
Yep.
I'm very excited to see what we're going to see. But I like the fact that the backdrop is not New York City, where it's like you're in a convention center and you have to go outside to go to Sbarro or whatever and have a little bit of fun. We're in Vegas.
Yeah.
You can run around, go to Caesar's Palace, do a cannonball in the Caesar's Palace pool, do a shot, run around. We don't have to go to everything.
Yeah.
We're in America's playground.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I think 180 Plus, we can be frugal. Like, we can bring flasks or well, whatever. You know, like,
Yeah.
we can be drunk as hell the time we show up.
Right.
To all
and
these.
hopefully, because, you know, when you read the rundown of what the pass gets you or whatever, it basically just says access to this, access to that. And, you know, I think a lot of the parties are Bravo sanctioned, but you know that all of those under 42s, the Summer House, Vanderpump, Southern Charmers, they're going out after.
Yeah.
And if we vibe with them, maybe they'll just invite us, and we don't need a pass for that.
So I think we ask if we see Kyle Cook walking around, we go, Kyle, we love you. You know us. Amy and I love you. Where's the party tonight with the under 42s?
Yeah.
We want to party with you so bad. Where are you, Shep,
We'll
Craig?
do anything.
Just name it. Kyle. Just name it, Kyle. Just tell us, where are you guys going tonight? Where are you going tonight?
Off strip,
Yeah.
Marrakesh.
Golden Nugget. Oh, the Marrakesh. Yeah. But anyway, I think we find the biggest party animal. We ask them where they're going, and then the party will center around them.
Yeah.
So that's our Bravo strategy. And also, Amy and I, when we're in the mix with all of our little turtle cuties, we're partying with you. There's no, we're not Bravo celebrities.
No
we
ifs,
wanna,
ands, or buts.
no, well, maybe a few butts, right?
Hopefully.
We're partying. We're gonna do beer bongs, shots. Let's all chug beers, right, on the on the floors of. You're allowed to just drink like crazy. right?
Everywhere.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that'll be fun. And well, on Watch What Happens Live after Crappie Lake, Luann and Sonya were on, and they were saying they were rating Bravo hunks or whatever.
yes,
And Sonya said that she had a tete-a-tete with Craig
Yes.
at BravoCon, and Luann said she exchanged numbers with Austin.
but then I saw the counter to that. Craig and Austin have a Pillows and Beer podcast, and Austin said he's never exchanged numbers with Luann, and they've never kissed
Yeah, right.
before. I know. I think they totally did. And I didn't hear Craig specifically deny making love to Sonya. I think he says she might have got him confused with someone else in Southern Charm.
I
So maybe it
believe
was
it.
Shep. You think Shep had sex with Sonya and got Luann's number?
Maybe. Honestly, again, we will get into Crappie Lake, but Ravenel and Richard, similar vibes.
Billy Richard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very.
Just in the French legacy way.
Yeah, Billy Richard was a little less charming to me than Thomas Ravenel initially, but they do have a similar sensibility. And Sonya was really attracted to Billy, so
She
you're
loved
right.
it.
Yeah, I read up. Finally, I got to the point where Thomas Ravenel, I can no longer be his number one fan.
Yeah.
It was settled out of court.
Okay.
But he admitted that he, drunk as hell, pulled his pants down, forcibly kissed her, tried to take her clothes off, like awful. Horrible.
He's so bad.
I know. It's very
He's a
bad.
demon.
And it definitely makes sense why Bravo fully ended their you know, relationship with
Well,
him.
he was disgraced from the start, but at the beginning it was just a little cocaine.
Yeah, I think people are okay with a little cocaine down.
I love that he still tried to run again despite
Yeah.
being like a felon.
That was kind of wild that it started with that. He was
Yeah.
like it was like he had a big glass bowl of Coke and he was spreading it around at a party, and they got him for distribution because he had so much Coke and he was distributing it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know, it's wild.
That's crazy. That show's so good. Okay, so yeah, BravoCon minute.
We're in. So
Join us
we're-
if you can.
We're paying, right? $5.50 unless we get those coveted press passes, which
Yeah.
if you're listening to us and you love Turtle Time and you know some secret way for Amy and I to become press, if Amy and I get press passes, we're covering the shit. Well, we're already
Yeah.
gonna like cover it as best we can, but it would be so amazing if we didn't have to pay that, if we could cover it for free, be unencumbered.
Yeah.
So if you know, let us know how to get press passes. I mean, we would love that.
We might have to do some sort of a Jerry Lewis telethon to pay our way in if we need to.
So what would that be, like raise $5.50 times 2? Is that what is
Yeah.
that, 1,200?
Or if we come up with
1100.
something really strong, we could really spring for the VIP just so that we can be nimble.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's do something where we could award people with beautiful presents and I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
The Turtle Time Awards.
But I can afford. I mean, currently I can afford $5.50 for 3 days,
Yeah.
unless someone wants to pay me to go there, or we get a press.
We need
pass.
an angel sponsor.
That'd be so sweet. What Do you think there's any secret millionaires that listen to Turtle Time?
Muhammad Hadid.
Do you think he listens? That's Yolanda's ex-husband, right?
Yeah.
There was a Yolanda reference in OC. Emily says, I want to be Yolanda and Muhammad
Oh,
Hadid
right. Because her model daughter.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
not to get too OC early, but if we do have a secret millionaire and you love Amy and I, we'll take what money, right? From
Yeah, feel free to join our Patreon. I think you can put in any amount.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
As your pledge on Patreon.
and we still need to do that $500 a month tier.
Yeah, we want to
for
have a
billionaires.
PJ tier for like the Randall Emmets of the world that want to support us.
I bet there's millionaires or billionaires that listen to Turtle Time, right?
Yeah. I hope so.
I hope it's not just only people who have under $1 million listening.
Yeah, step it up, little turtles. We need the cash.
Yeah, we need the cash. Okay, so you want
okay.
to talk about Emo Nite really
Yeah.
quick?
Yep.
Okay. So Emo Nite is a beautiful, wonderful event, which you had never been to before. And
No.
this was my 4th time at Emo Nite.
Wow.
So I know the ropes. I can get around there. I know what I'm getting. But you were like, stunned, right? You were looking
Coming
around.
in blind.
Yeah. And then you don't have a full association with emo music. You didn't have an emo era like I did.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I knew a lot of the songs. I'm from that era. That a lot of it rose to the top.
Yeah,
They were
Jimmy
just
Eat World,
popular
The Middle.
anyways. Yeah. But it's not, my exact preference. But it was fun, and it's a well-done event.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It was cool.
Yes, they have like different rooms where different bands are playing. They have the main stage where people are DJing. And the reason why Amy and I went was because we found out that Sheena, Katie, and Ariana were DJing again. And we assumed that other Vanderpump Rules cast members would be there. But what we didn't assume is that every single cast member would be there except Sandoval, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean-
it was James, Allie, Lala, Sheena, Katie, Ariana, like
Yeah.
we said, Schwartz,
Yeah.
Kristen.
Yeah, a rare Kristen sighting.
Anyone else?
Um,
Was Dana there?
I think she was, but I
Yeah.
don't think she was in that like main area with them because maybe she didn't want to be on camera. So Amy and I were in this back area, but right next to where all the Vanderpump Rules people were filming. So we were sort of like we would every once in a while, I'll just admit it, we would peek over, look at what they were doing, but we also had to look that way to see the stage.
Yeah.
So it was sort of, you're peeking, but you're also trying to watch, the show or
Yeah.
whatever. But they were filming a full scene. They got all their entrances coming to Emo Nite. And then Katie, Sheena. Did you go on stage when Katie, Sheena, and Ariana were DJing?
No.
Oh, okay. So I saw it, and I had seen their set before, but it was great. It was very fun. And then James was looking down on them very lovingly, like he was so proud of them. And then Sheena says, "Hey, I've got a huge surprise for you all. I'm debuting a Screamo version of Good as Gold." Did you watch that part?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I don't know. Do you like Screamo?
Yeah.
So in that world, do you think it held up?
Yeah, I think, so Good as Gold has a powerful hook.
Good as gold.
Yeah, and then so you added that screaming to it. I think it adds it's definitely, there's some ironic
But she didn't even do it. It was a different guy. I wish she did it.
I do wish she screamed the Good as Gold scream,
Yeah.
but I like when she's rocking out and going, "I'll open Pandora's box for you." That chorus still hits with
Yeah.
the rock accompaniment.
Yeah.
So I thought it was fun, and we got to see it twice. We got to see it
Yeah.
in a small room. We got to see it when she was DJing.
Do you think she did it again for production, or they just wanted to do it again?
I think it was so nice she wanted to do it twice. Don't you think?
Yeah. It was fun being in that little smaller area.
Yeah.
And we had a pretty good look at production, and the sexy producer that everyone got to meet for the first time, at least the first time I noticed him, on the reunion. He's the one that tells Sandoval he can't take a break.
Yeah.
He's a muscular man with a mustache, and he wears little booty shorts
Yes.
while he's working, which now whenever you look at paparazzi photos and stuff or footage, you'll see him in the background. And I almost went up to him and thanked him for his service, but I didn't want him to think I was weird.
Oh, you wouldn't have. You would have loved that. Thank you for your service. That's what Nikolai Schroeder said to us.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Or thank you for your support.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, we didn't see that much like storylines being developed. It seems like
Yeah.
the storyline is going to be just, hey, watch us do
It
this
might just be a
awesome thing.
pop-in.
Yeah.
No, Lala was, as she said on her Instagram, out of her element. She looked so bored she could die.
She never had an emo phase. I think
No.
she had a rap. I think she was more rap
She's a
oriented.
hip-hop girly.
I was both.
Yeah.
Why exclude one for the other?
Plus, she's sober, and I feel like, I guess she's probably used to that now because so much of what they do revolves around drinking, but being sober at essentially a dance party does not sound fun to me.
Were you getting torn up at all, drink-wise?
I had quite a few Sauvignon Blancs,
Okay, nice.
which luckily they had because I was afraid it would just be kind of like a vodka, like hard liquor only type vibe, but they had wine, so
Yeah.
that was good. But yeah, it was fun.
You had fun.
Yeah, it was
Good.
fun, and the girlies seemed like they had a great time. They
Yeah.
keep posting about it days and days later.
I think Katie loves it the most.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, Katie is loving the era we're in, which I think she should love it.
Mm-hmm.
She is finally seen by most people as a unsung hero
Mm-hmm.
for how she viewed Sandoval and Schwartz all these years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then now that sort of a shadow has fallen upon them, Katie is in the light again, and she's living her best life. And she is so in her element when she's on stage, listening to this emo music and performing it and stuff, that it's infectious watching Katie love this era, and I think she deserves it. So that was probably the most fun aspect of it to me, because Ariana got a lot of the glory, I think, the first time I saw them do it, and then they all really embraced that moment, and it was great. And I think the Emo Nite just experience in general is just so fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. And then I don't really have a spin-off, but Ariana official on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
What do you think?
I don't watch Dance. I'm going to be fully honest. I don't watch Dancing with Stars. I don't really care about Dancing with the Stars. And I just think congratulations. It's good for her. But when Lisa Vanderpump was on Dancing with the Stars, I didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't watch it, so I don't care.
Do you think she has what it takes to get the mirror ball trophy?
Yeah. Do you remember her dancing as Sheena's backup dancer in season 2?
Yeah. I'm curious. I wonder, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting, as I think we discussed when it was a rumor, but for that to coincide with the sandwich shop
I know.
timing, I think is going to be a problem.
Well, she's going to be gone for a while?
It's all consuming.
I think she's going to pull Lisa, like I said.
And faint
Yeah.
and leave.
And say, I can't do this anymore. I just fainted. No, I think she'll win the entire thing. It's just I'm not going to personally going to be watching.
You're not
Dancing
gonna
with Stars. Do you
watch?
watch it?
No, but I'll watch it for that. I'll watch her parts at least on YouTube.
Oh yeah, okay. If there's clips of her,
It'll be like an Ariana Maddox with the cha-cha.
and what do? So you watch them all prepare to dance, and then they have a competition with their partner?
Every week is a different type of dance. It'll be like flamenco or cha-cha or whatever. Name
they
a dance.
Not that they ever would, but if they asked us to do it, would you do it?
Would we be each other's partners, or
Yeah.
would we have professional
No,
partners?
it'd be the first time.
No,
in
I need a professional.
No, why can't it just be you and I?
Life's a sexy little dance, and I like to take the lead.
Who says that?
Lisa.
She does. That's one of her taglines.
Yes.
Oh, but when she was on
Dancing with the Stars, I think.
But then then why did she fake that flop?
I guess she doesn't like to take the lead. She likes to take a leave.
What, leave of absence on Dancing with the Stars? What if it
Remember,
was?
she got so skinny because it's such a hard workout.
Yeah, but her feint, if you remember correctly, it looked sort of performative. I mean, is that mean to say that Lisa probably faked it?
I mean, that's what everyone on the show said. They made fun of her relentlessly.
She goes, "Oh dear," right?
Yeah, she like put her hand on her head.
Yeah.
But whatever. Get the payday. Did you see she did the trash bags? Ariana got that trash bags deal the other day.
I mean, yes. I don't ever want this era of Ariana's glory to end. I think it's wonderful. She's going to be on Love Island as well.
Right. Yeah.
I think that she will just have this trajectory until next season of Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Because it's like Dancing with the Stars is going to happen, Love Island, all these endorsements. I think it's very good. Did you see have you been sent or seen any of the like Sandoval footage of him being filmed?
A little bit. I am debating how much I want to look at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
At all. Like we said last week, I don't want the season 11 to be completely spoiled. I'm
Yeah.
already sort of I don't like so far the scenes I've seen like because first of all, they've been at Sir, Tom Tom and Pump 10 out of the 12 days of filming.
Yeah.
Like, since when are they there every single day?
Right. I wonder if that's just for ease of,
I think
that's the easiest place to film because they have
because
access.
Sandoval would never be invited anywhere else. So the only place he'd get invited to is by Lisa at Sir. But it's really weird to see him just sitting alone in a booth crying while fans are surrounding him, watching him, taking photos of him, and then the rest of the group is in another section of Sir having scenes.
Right.
I sort of wish they were having a, like, under the
More
radar
private.
season.
Yeah.
Where they're at Schwartz's apartment or they're at restaurants that they don't normally go to.
Well, maybe that's happening too, and we don't know. Or you think that everything's being reported?
I think I've seen evidence of every single scene that's been filmed every single day.
What was it? Sheena was yelling at Sandoval the other day.
Yelling at him and Sir Ali. They yelled at Schwartz. Apparently, they all went to Pump to say goodbye. It's just like I think they got to get off that strip,
Right.
Vanderpump Row
Maybe
for a bit.
they're getting that out of the way first.
Yeah.
And then Raquel is still in negotiations, right?
Yeah. Well, someone fakely reported that she had signed her contract, but that's not true.
And they're all, again, this is, I guess, spoilery, even though I don't know if any of it's real, but apparently they're going to Tahoe.
They
That's what I
are?
heard. Yeah.
Wait, how'd you hear that?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm kind of interested in that.
Like they're going as a group to Tahoe for, I don't know, like, but Lisa's restaurant not going to be open for a long time, right?
Wait, we said this last time. Tahoe is not where Kyle Richards is.
That's
Key Masabi is.
Aspen.
That's Aspen. Okay,
Yeah.
that's her stomping grounds. Lake Tahoe is trying to make, or Lisa is trying to make Lake Tahoe her new stomping grounds.
Tahoe.
So do you think they're gonna like be groundbreaking on Wolf?
Ooh, cut a ribbon.
Yeah, right. Because it's called Wolf by Vanderpump, right?
Yeah.
Lisa, give Lisa credit. The fact that she is able to maintain herself in every single storyline of this upcoming season is wild.
Yeah.
She is not a cardboard cutout like Jax called her.
No. Also, where the hell we keep hearing time and time again that Jax is going to make an appearance somewhere, and he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, we heard that he's coming to Emo Nite, and I was like, the juxtaposition of Jax watching people seeing The Used or Blink-182, it's like I couldn't even imagine it.
No.
I was so excited, and he didn't show up.
I didn't get my hopes up. I knew he wasn't coming.
He's also lying and saying that he got cast in Vanderpump Rules again, and there's just no way. I think he's totally in that spinoff that I think is. I don't even know if they're going to film
There hasn't
that.
even been an update since they announced it.
I think that was a testing the waters.
Yeah.
I think it was to see how people react, and the reaction was mixed.
I feel like the comments, people were like, womp womp.
Yeah,
like people were like, I hate them. No, thanks.
Yeah, it's not. It couldn't be a proper spinoff, like we said, without more of the Vanderpump Rules cast members. And then, why are you splitting up the cast if that's the case?
But then there was that video. There's so much footage everywhere these days. But Peter and Kristen in Sir Ali, and Kristen is wearing her green dress that she wore to pick up the cable box. What was that for?
That was apparently to promote the latest episode of her podcast that features Peter as a guest. So it was kind of, I would say, a big presentation for, well, I don't know. I mean, her podcast is cool and it's nice, but I thought that green dress wouldn't be pulled out except for a more iconic event.
Yeah.
But,
It should go to BravoCon, though.
Right.
The dress.
Lindsay Hubbard said that.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Well, A broken clock is what is that?
Right, correct. Twice a day.
Yeah, right. That's true though when you think about
Well,
it.
we have the Jack sweater is now framed.
Yes.
Hopefully they bring that.
Kim's wig.
Kim's wig, Teresa or Tamara's breast implants, the bunny.
The table that Teresa flipped.
Yeah. What else? They have a lot of. I think they have a lot of reunion dresses, on display at BravoCon. What are some other iconic items?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you already say the bunny?
Yeah.
That's probably the most iconic.
Bunny.
I bet Sheena's Good as Gold record is going to go in there.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. I don't know. What's another iconic Bravo item?
I don't know, but the green
They should
dress.
have Dana Wilkie's $25,000 sunglasses.
Oh, that would be so good. Do you think she still has those?
She should. I bet she does.
Do you think they were actually 25,000?
Probably lying, but doesn't she have a podcast? I feel like she keeps coming up as
Yeah.
a provocateur.
She's probably should be in the Hall of Fame for one of the biggest flops in Housewives history.
Very entertaining though.
You thought so?
She's just like an embarrassment.
I thought she was one of the most embarrassing scenes I've ever seen is when she got very, very
Drunk.
no, when she was saying to Kyle Richards, like, to get on the show, she was like, "I love you. We've got to go on a trip. We should all go together. We are a total trio, you and I." Kyle's like, "I don't even know this person very well." She was like, just going for
It's
it.
great.
Yeah. I guess it was fun to watch from the worst, like, cringe.
Yeah.
Perspective.
She's like
but
still trying out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I guess speaking of Kyle, that whole situation is still pending, I guess. They just said Kyle and Mauricio said they're mind your business. We're figuring it out.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking while you said that, Kyle's little cowboy hat that he put on his penis at his 40th birthday for the Bravo.
Yeah, put it in a glass case.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, they're still separated, though, right?
Yeah, they said there's no truth to anything about a divorce, but they're like, we've had a hard year, we're working it out, whatever. And then they posted on 4th of July, Mauricio posted an Aspen family photo saying, "Hey guys, like, is anything going on?" Yeah.
He said that.
Yeah.
Have I missed anything lately?
Something like that.
Oh, Mauricio.
Which, I don't know what's going on. I wish the best for them. Some people are hypothesizing that they think she's trying to get a storyline, but I'm like, then why did she wait till after they were done filming?
I mean, I don't know. I guess Kyle doesn't really do a lot of stuff for a storyline, right?
No.
She doesn't do that provocative of a thing for a storyline. No. And plus, one of her most endearing qualities is her and Mauricio's relationship and how much they love each other. So I don't think she would, like, take that away.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't
but
know.
I do like, I think that the whole family wedding thing with all the sisters was after the season. I would have loved to see that.
What thing?
Kim's daughter's wedding in Aspen. All the three sisters were together again. They go to Kemosabe. They're,
and it wasn't on the show.
I don't think so. I think they had already wrapped, which is disappointing, but probably best for their family.
Yeah, totally. I think BH this season is going to be one of the biggest flops in the world.
Flopperino.
Because the cast was already teetering on being so boring with Rinna in it.
Yeah.
And I think Rinna is horrendous. One of the worst housewives of all time. But without her, it's even more bland. I mean, at least she tried to be awful.
All of our hopes and dreams are resting on Crystal Minkoff's shoulders.
Oh my God. to provide drama? I don't.
Can you imagine anything worse?
Oh, I can't. And it's like, I can't. I mean, it seems
the
like
only good thing she's offered is her leather pants so that Sutton could yell at her and call her pants ugly.
Yeah,
Those should be in the museum.
Oh, those leather pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so iconic of Sutton. Sutton really gets the brunt of all of their ire because she's sort of instantly iconic, and I think everybody likes Sutton. So them all hating Sutton and acting shitty towards Sutton is kind of interesting because you can tell how, like, jealous they are of the love Sutton gets.
I get so confused about the timeline. Like, was last season. I already forgot that woman's name.
Yes, Diana Jenkins.
Yeah. Where
Yeah.
was she from?
Where is she from?
Yeah.
Bavaria? Or that's not a country.
Where-
Bulgaria?
Maybe. I guess I don't remember.
Yugoslavia? That's not a country either. You know,
Bosnia. Thanks,
right,
Jimmy.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Our
Thank you.
geopolitics expert.
Yeah.
So yeah, war-torn
War-torn
Bosnia. But she was a terrible housewife.
Oh,
One
yeah,
of the
I
worst of all time.
I just said Diana Wilkins was the worst. Diana Jenkins. Sorry, Wilkie. Diana Jenkins was the worst housewife.
She
there's
was on
ever been.
par with Peggy on OC. Do you remember her? Her husband owned the luxury cars.
Peggy.
I think they were.
Was she like a second season? There was one housewife.
Oh,
in
there's
OC,
two Peggys.
There was one housewife in OC where she never had a scene with any of the other cast members. She was just on her own, having this like dating journey, and she was fired after one season. I don't think that was Peggy.
There was a. I'm blanking on. I don't want to say the wrong country that she's from, but she was
like
just
I did.
stick in the mud.
Okay.
And she sucked, and she was one of the, if anyone out there remembers Peggy from OC, car dealership. I think her tagline had to do with luxury cars. I don't know. She was just fucking awful.
Okay.
But yeah, in the pantheon of terrible housewives. I also I don't think she was bad, just kind of boring. But you know who I forgot about?
Who?
Quinn, the
Quinn.
cougar from OC.
Quinn is who I was talking about in season 2. She didn't have any organic friendships with any of the other cast members, so she would just have scenes on her own exploring her dating life,
Yeah.
and she never fit in, and then she got fired after
It
one
would always
season.
just be about that she was like Christian and horny.
Yes, that was Quinn. That's who I was talking about. So before, that's what I was talking about. We should do a top 10. I mean, it's mean, but we should do a top 10 worst housewives.
Yeah.
Diana Jenkins is probably in my top 3.
Sonya, I think it was Sonya, chose Cindy Barshop as her least favorite.
Cindy is completely underrated.
You like her?
They were so awful to her because she came in as a new cast member, and they were so jealous of screen time and really trying to crowd someone out. Like, that was the first very clear thing I've ever seen where people were intentionally trying to block out a cast member to get them fired so they wouldn't take their shine.
Yeah.
Cindy actually had some fun moments, and she was cool on her own. She just got no screen time, and no one would interact with her at all. Ramona was probably the worst to
Oh my
her.
God. Yeah, when they got into that thing in the Hamptons, and then there was something weird about a funeral and disrespecting. Ramona was disrespectful at a funeral or something like that.
Because someone was wearing the guy's pants or his jacket or something, wasn't it?
Something like that. It's giving New Jersey pajamas.
Yeah, totally.
But anyways, yeah, there's definitely one season wonders out there that are just not worth mentioning. But so yeah, prayers for Kyle Mauricio, and then Kim and Croy on TikTok. I keep getting time and again updates, including body cam footage, which it's so crazy that that's just public.
I know.
But it's like they're going through some intense shit. I'm like concerned.
Yeah, but okay.
But they called off the divorce.
Yeah, so first we heard they were getting divorced. Then we saw them all going to church, and they were like, they looked their best. And then an announcement came that they were not divorcing. So some people think that this was some like tax. I don't even know enough about.
Well, that's what everyone thought about Erica and Tom too, that their divorce was a ruse for tax reasons.
I mean, like, she wouldn't want to divorce Tom Girardi.
Right.
After all.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, I believe, especially people are saying with Kim and Croy that if there is going to be something, about taxes or fraud, that they want to not, if like stuff is in a divorce, then it's public because it's like a trial. And then there's a thing of that they wouldn't have to testify against each other.
That's a real thing?
I think so.
And
which is so weird.
I
It
don't
seems
know.
fake.
That's a scene. There's an episode of Sopranos where Adriana thinks that's the truth, so she
Oh.
wants to marry Christopher, so she can't testify. And then the lawyer, she gets legal advice, and they go, "That's only on television. That's
Right.
not true at all."
We should look it up.
I'm pretty sure that's a television convention.
Falsehood.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds fake.
So, well, are you glad?
Especially if you've been called to the stand. I feel
Right.
like why would they honor that?
It's kind of
There's not like privilege. It's not like attorney-client privilege or like doctor privilege.
Your Honor, that's his wife. Get her off the stand now. She can't testify against her husband, right?
Yeah.
They didn't know that they were married. They were married last night in a secret
At 11:59.
in Vegas, and
Yeah.
she can no longer testify against him. Get her off the stand, Your Honor.
Mistrial.
I object.
That's a little snippet from Conover and Catania.
Can Conover and Catania be the first scripted show? Can we write it?
Yeah, remember when Bravo had a scripted
No,
era?
no.
There was like Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. They had a little scripted era.
Was it good
No.
at all?
Honestly, I didn't really watch it.
I want one scripted show that you and I get to script. We would try. We know so much
After the writer's strike.
Well, I'll be damned. Exactly.
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye, Jimmy. You know what? You're exactly right. I think we should wait until after the writer's strike is over before we try to scab and get a series.
Yeah, although they might be desperate for content right now. This might be our only way in.
So maybe we should talk maybe off mic about what we should do with this new scripted show.
Did you hear what the studios, the quote that leaked that they're all like, the executives are like, we're gonna go take this strike on as long as we can
Yeah.
until they start losing their homes. It's gonna be one cold Christmas.
It was written by Ebenezer Scrooge.
Literally. What the fuck?
It was the Grinch and Ebenezer Scrooge got together and crafted what the studio executives should say to look the absolute
I'm
worst.
literally picturing like Kermit and the little rats working for Michael Caine in the Muppet Christmas. So cold.
Yeah. They can't write anything, and yeah, I mean, it's that was powerful imagery. But I've heard that is just like that's just fodder to make the writers scared. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's like
And
a
then
movie
Bob
script.
Iger,
He goes-
he said reported live from a like billionaires conference in Sundance.
Davos, right?
What is that?
Davos is the thing in Succession that all the
Oh,
billionaires
right. Yeah,
go to, the world
exactly.
leaders go to.
They're all wearing like
He
fleece
goes,
vests.
He goes, these writers are in for a cold winter. They go, wait till they have their houses taken from them, then they'll want to
He
write.
basically said that this is a very inconvenient and bad time for
Yeah.
the strike, and that the writers are hurting the industry by doing this.
Yeah.
And
well,
he made like $50 million last year.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. I mean, once the actors strike, right, which I think
It's
is
happening, yeah.
it's happened. I mean, it's going to be over.
Yeah.
Like, they have to come to an agreement within 30 days because I don't think
They can't shoot anything.
Hollywood can just end,
We
that
got
long.
the Barbie press tour in under the wire.
That was great. Oppenheimer locked in. Mission
Yeah.
Impossible's locked in.
Yep.
Apparently, they can still do commercials. They can still do student films.
Oh.
This would be a good time. We're non-SAG, right?
No.
And we're not Writers Guild.
Non-union across the board.
You and I could really quickly put up a student film and cast it with some A-list stars who just want, a little bit of scratch on the side.
Yeah.
Non-union.
Yeah.
But we'd have to be associated with the USC or something.
Okay.
Do you happen to have your college email address still?
I don't think I do, but
Okay.
maybe we could just. I might have my ID somewhere.
So we shouldn't be pitching or writing anything in solidarity with writers, even though we're not WGA.
I think so. Even if we have some old ideas on scrap paper, maybe if they're ready to shoot, that's up to the studio. But
True. Do you believe that theory that the studio executives are just sort of bluffing, just trying to make it the worst case scenario, just so that the writers will fold early before it gets to be that cold winter?
I think they mean it.
Oh, really?
I think they're like the executives in The Idol. Did you watch The Idol?
I didn't. Was that?
I'm surprised you didn't watch it.
Well, I heard it was so bad, and I didn't like Euphoria. So, and this
Okay.
was supposed to be even worse than Euphoria.
No,
so
yeah,
I was
it's
like,
definitely worse than. I kind of like Euphoria. This is all the worst parts of Euphoria times 10.
okay.
But they have executives that are just cartoonish ghouls.
Yeah.
That are like, like mental illness is so hot right now.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So
All right.
they're kind of like that.
So do you? Okay, but you don't like the show.
You don't need to watch it. I just thought maybe with your penchant for popular music of that ilk, maybe you would watch it.
I love The Weeknd, and I am a contrarian, so everyone hating on The Idol made me think maybe I would actually like it. But I don't like Euphoria. I don't like the guy who wrote Euphoria, and I've heard this is worse, so I'm just not even.
I mean, if you're not in the market, I would say its moment has passed. There's no reason that you need to watch it now.
Is The Weeknd? Does it make The Weeknd seem kind of lame because his acting is bad?
He's so bad.
Oh man.
It's really weird. It's hard to understand what they were going for because he has a rat tail in it.
Right.
And he's wearing like, I don't know, I guess I don't know what The Weeknd's real teeth look like or his current teeth because he's wearing or has insane chiclet teeth.
Aren't they like vampire teeth too, or no?
They're
Is
like
that-
straight across.
Oh, okay.
Like a block of white squares that look so stupid. And it's hard to understand if you don't understand why she's falling for him because he's both unattractive, weird and creepy, and not hot. So you're like, what?
Right. Well, I guess it's like it's supposed to be like a cult leader, but
Right.
he doesn't have the charisma, I assume, of a cult
to
leader.
deserve. And then the only saving grace I would say is that chick. What's her name?
Rachel Sennott?
Yeah.
Oh, she's good in it.
She's funny because she's like the only one on the show that's like, the fuck is happening? Like
that's
they
good.
keep her in to be like, he's a creep. What are you doing? Like
Viewer
he's
surrogate?
gross. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you don't need to watch it. It's upsetting at times, potentially offensive. But yeah, that was the Idol Minute.
Is Lily Depp Rose good in it?
Lily Rose Depp.
Lily Rose Depp.
Yeah, there's something there. But there's like a twist at the end that makes you question the entire performance because I won't spoil it, but what you think is the truth turns out to have been a lie.
Can we just have a 20-second spoiler and we just tell people? Because I do want to hear. Is it quick to explain the twist?
Sure.
Okay. Do you care?
No. 20 seconds.
All right, okay. Idol spoiler right now. Amy is going to tell me what happens at the end of the Idol because I will never watch it. So 20 seconds, fast forward right now.
Okay, so at the beginning, it's revealed that her mom has died, and she's very upset about that, and that's part of why she's having a mental breakdown. She meets this cult leader. Then it's revealed, she says, that her mom used to beat the shit out of her with a brush, and so then he uses it as a sexual tool and like beats her with a brush, and it's like really upsetting. And she's like under his palm, and all these artists that are living in the house are unable to escape his abuse, and it's really scary. And then at the end, it turns out that her mom like never did that, and that she was controlling him. But if you watch it again with that understanding, it wouldn't make any fucking sense.
How is she controlling him?
It turns out she's been the one in power all along. Like she fed him the lie and he did what she wanted, but
She wanted to be beaten by that brush?
I guess it doesn't make sense. Is the thing.
All right. Spoiler. The Idol is over. We're at an hour and 2 minutes. Did we talk about everything we wanted to talk about before we get into our 3 different Bravo franchises that we want to talk about?
I think so. Should we take a little ad break and then get into it?
Let's take an ad break, and then just so everyone knows, Amy and I are going to talk about the latest episode of Atlanta.
Yep.
2 episodes of the OC generally, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to go in depth. This is just general.
Yeah.
And then the Crappie Lake.
Crappie
Lake. So and then we'll divide the segment so you know Atlanta's happening, OC is happening, and then Crappie Lake. We are on a Bravo journey today, and we just are getting started. So
That's
why
right.
did we talk about Catch Me If You Can so long? Okay, break.
Me.
We're back.
Hello. All right. So we're gonna start with Atlanta.
Yes.
Sunday's episode called "Better Late Than Ugly,"
Right.
which was a Kenya quote.
Yep. Something amazing that Kenya said. I've never heard that before. Had you heard that before?
I don't think so. It's
kind
pretty
of-
good.
I mean, Better late than ugly. Yeah, I think that was amazing.
Which we can get into whether or not we think she succeeded on looking good for that event.
Oh,
I
you
had
have
opinions.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, that's good. I didn't have any opinions on it. So last week we talked about we did a full recap of 1 through 8,
Yeah.
very generally, just how we feel about it.
Yeah.
I guess just at the top, I think this episode continued a sort of descent down in quality.
Yeah.
I was sort of, I don't know, I guess mixed on the first 8 episodes. It was sort of boring, but there was still some fun stuff.
Yeah.
This felt to me like mostly filler.
Yeah, pretty boring despite the fact that they had a reunion of OGs. You would think that would be exciting, and it was actually so boring.
Well, there's a reason why Lisa Wu and Deshaun were fired.
Right.
Because they are very bad on
They're just
television.
normal people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get into it, but yeah, this was, if someone was trying to pinpoint a mark of Atlanta being in a flop era, you
Right.
could point to this episode.
Yeah, but then at the end there was a mid-season trailer that alludes to some big drama to come, including a lesbian storyline with
Yep.
Drew.
Yes.
Which I'm like, is this just now every city and every series is going to have a housewife meet a butch woman who steals her from her husband?
I guess
It's the Selling Sunset way, because I don't watch it anymore, but Chrishell, the star of
Yeah,
Selling
right.
Sunset, used to be married to an actor from the show This Is Us.
Right.
And he left her, and now she's with a woman named G Flip.
Oh, okay. And then people are saying that Kyle is doing a similar thing
Yeah.
with Morgan Wade.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's just she kisses someone for Todd Tucker's movie.
Right.
And Ralph gets
Mad.
about the boundaries of kissing actors or whatever, which is like that
Right.
happens all the time.
Right.
People who are insecure about the relationship don't want. I mean, even Todd was, sort of upset with Candy having a sex scene in her movie.
Yeah.
It's just something that happened, so I think that might be overblown.
Yeah. But then the only interesting thing from the trailer is Drew seems very caught off guard when they ask her to talk about it, and she goes, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say.
Yeah.
But that might be about like her divorce or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I'm interested to see. I didn't think we would see Todd's movie be filmed this season.
Quickly, yeah.
So I'm interested to see Todd and his executive producer.
Yeah, I
era.
want more Todd.
I love Todd.
Yeah.
To me, I think we talked about it last week, but Mama Joyce, Candy, and Todd's drama to me is the most compelling.
Yeah.
Because I know it's real. It's been so long lasting.
10 years.
And it had this eruption at BravoCon, which they keep talking about.
Yeah.
So it's like in the zeitgeist still. And I want, either, like we said, either Candy or Todd to get to a limit where they just can't stand how Mama Joyce talks
Yeah.
to them. Can't stand for it anymore.
Yeah. I liked at the beginning of this episode, Todd lets their dog in the bed, and
Yeah.
Candy's like, why are you letting her in the bed? And he's like, that's my baby Goldie. She's just living her life. And
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
we love letting a dog in the bed.
Yeah. And I don't even think, did he even let her? Or did
Well,
she just jumped
Came
up?
and he wasn't mad about it.
Yeah, that
and
was-
Candy was like, get off of there.
Yeah, Candy doesn't like dogs in bed. That's kind of sad. I thought Candy would be.
I can't imagine not letting my pets in my bed.
Oh.
Are you kidding?
It's so fun.
What's the point?
I mean, obviously, Archie went to our bed the first night he ever lived with us. He sleeps under the covers. He's so sweet.
I mean, I guess some people are more disciplined about, they have boundaries with their dogs, but I don't want boundaries.
Me neither. And I wipe Archie's butt anytime he goes to the bathroom. So there's no like.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So there's no like poop on it. I mean, just so there's no like lingering. What's that called?
Dingleberry?
Yeah. So that's the one precaution you could take if you just don't want, a dog to get.
That's the good thing about cats is that they lick their own asshole.
Do they right after they go to the bathroom?
Well, they know that it needs to be kept clean. Although some long hair cats, it can be a challenge
Really?
because shit gets stuck in there.
Do they? This is like. No. I won't even ask it. But so their tongue, is.
Yeah, but they're not like dogs. They don't lick you. So
Oh, they don't.
it's fine.
Cats don't lick.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's never happened, but I would say it's rare.
You know what's kind of sad is my dog George Michael doesn't lick me anymore.
Why?
He's 17.
Are you sour?
I'm sour. I taste bad. Anytime he does lick me, he has this disgusted face. No, I don't know, licking is not in his life anymore. It's kind of sad.
I mean, that's sad, but also kind of nice because we love him, but I bet his breath smells. As all pets of a certain age do.
George's breath is on another level of stench to where you almost can't quantify it.
Has he had any teeth extracted?
No, but he has teeth that'll just fall out of his mouth. It's like a cavernous pit that smells like shit in his mouth. Anyway, all right, okay.
Well,
so
that was the tooth pet minute.
Yeah. So, but I'll say, just this episode is structured with 20 minutes of just pure boredom.
Yeah.
Like nothing is happening. It's Kenya's commercial for her hair care.
Yeah.
It's
the charity planning.
And then the actual charity event was good. It was I thought it was entertaining, but it wasn't enough to sustain an episode to get this up to the level of a good episode.
Yeah. What did you think about Kenya's suitor named Roy, spelled ROI?
The jury is still out for me on Roy. He brought a breakfast burrito to set, and he was sweet with Brooklyn.
Did you see what his business is called?
No, Roy.
Kale Me Crazy.
Kale Me Crazy, like Kale, like the lettuce,
Yeah.
the plant. No,
That's what the badge
he's a
said.
kale guy.
Yeah, he's a health food man.
Well, I didn't get, I didn't have any reservations about Roy, but he also didn't talk enough.
No,
he was fine.
I just feel like she was really acting like she had a celebrity guest or something, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
We don't know this guy, and you're the one telling us that he's the most prestigious, amazing guy. And that
she was like, this is my production. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You just bought out of space. It's not that impressive.
Yeah. So I don't have any opinions on Roy yet. He didn't do anything awful. You know.
I feel like he's not going to appear again. It's just going to be.
Yeah.
All of her partners are kind of weird.
What do you think's going on? What do you think's going on?
I don't know.
Kenya has the worst track record, I think, with suitors.
Yeah.
There was the one guy who I was reminded of in a flashback that broke all the windows of her garage or whatever, and then started crying.
Is
in
he
the
the guy that went on the trip with them?
I think so.
And she kept being like, "We should get married," and he was like, "Haha, no."
Yeah, and then is Mark Brooklyn's dad?
Yes.
He also, they had a horrible relationship.
Yeah, he seemed
on
like an asshole.
Camera, he was awful to her.
Which I don't even. I think Kenya's entertaining, but I don't like her as a person, and even the men she dates are so bad that it makes me feel sorry for her, which is kind of hard to do.
I like Kenya as a person.
Yeah.
I thought she was the worst villain I had ever seen when she came on, the season 5 or whatever. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever like this person. And since I now think she's top 3.
Now you're twirling all day.
God, Gone with the Wind, fabulous. I love her. She is. You can see she's really rude to her staff and stuff,
yeah.
and she wants everything to be a certain way or whatever. But I don't know. I would want to be friends with.
Did
Kenya.
you ever talk to Dave that you used to work with? P.
Dave P. I looked at Kenya's IMDb because of this episode and saw I had a mutual connection in terms of work. Did he worked with her?
He
right?
said she was an absolute terror.
Well,
I've talked to him about it multiple times, and he said he gets he's a very even keel guy.
Oh yeah,
he gets pissed when he talks about her.
She was awful.
Yeah,
on set.
like a demon.
Oh no! Can I? Because you were so honest and shared with me, I'm going to share with you another fact. I think this is gonna blow your mind. I talked to someone who was a producer on a project that Candy was involved with. She said Candy was the worst person she's ever interacted with in her life in production.
No.
Candy. She said that Candy. This is awful. But this is a first-hand source.
Yeah.
But let me caveat this by saying there are a million things that could have been happening with Candy just offset that led her to this.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, first-hand account. Candy, she said, treated her very badly,
Oh, no.
very rudely, and would turn it on the minute that the camera came on, like laugh and pick up her spirits to be traditional Candy, and then immediately when cameras were down would revert
Yikes.
to
So nasty and so rude.
so nasty and so rude. And I'll say personally that blew me away because I have loved Candy since the first minute she ever appeared.
Yeah.
And I almost can't imagine that someone would be able to fake being the generous, fun, cool person that Candy is, and then actually secretly be rude to everyone. So I think I have to chalk that up to maybe a one-off occasion. I'm not
Right.
That's not fully swaying me.
I will say, TBD, but I not to give her benefit of the doubt, but she seems tired. Like maybe she does too much.
I want to give her every benefit of the doubt you can, because I don't want my world
Well, like
turned upside
even
down
on this
Candy.
episode at that mommy
She's tired as
whatever
hell.
brunch, she had driven in from Nashville.
Yeah.
They did her schedule. She had something at 9 a.m. The brunch was at 10:45, which I'm like, so when you're watching all those women in full glam, they got there by 10:45. I can't even imagine getting ready by that time.
I mean,
That's
they're-
early for an event.
Yeah, and also imagine being a celebrity where every single encounter you have is scrutinized, and you're not going to give 100%.
Right.
You just can't be nice and sweet to everyone, depending on everything that's going on in your day.
Oh,
So
yeah. I generally take with a grain of salt, like on Dumois and stuff. They'll be like, I served such and such coffee and he was such a dick. And I'm like, I mean, if I'm nice to people in general, I try to be very friendly and like say thank you and whatever, but like you're not always in the fucking mood, and everyone has such high expectations for your interaction with them because they're like, this is my one moment with this person.
I have one moment with them,
and they're
They
like,
have-
you're just like all day long, every single person I see wants something from me.
That's why if you're a celebrity, just say, I love you so much, I love you, I love you. Give somebody a hug, and then say, I gotta go, I'm sorry, it's an urgent business. Then you're good.
Yeah.
You just told everyone you love them, and it's over. You know
Well,
who
that's
else?
sorry.
Who?
Sarah Jessica Parker said, I was listening to her on Howard Stern, and she said that sometimes when people ask her for photos and stuff, she's like, she's like, I can't take photos by orders of the government.
Oh,
like she says something like weird and then like goes away.
That's amazing. That's good. You know who else I heard was a secret dickhead that you'd never imagine? Secret full-blown dickhead.
Who?
Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
I'm going to bleep this out. Adam Scott.
Really?
Yeah. Wouldn't you not think that?
I mean, I believe it most of the time. I'm ready to have that be the case. As like with this whole Jonah Hill thing that's happening right now,
but
I'm
you
like,
knew-
I'm like, come on.
I knew Jonah Hill
Of
was an
course.
asshole.
But I think a lot of people are like blown away.
His every single character, they can't write him differently. They can't
Well, I
write
mean, they
him.
literally wrote him for "This Is the End."
Right,
Like,
right. They can't. There's never been a character where Jonah Hill has been a sweet, endearing, not sarcastic asshole
Yeah.
type guy.
and now all the clips are. Did you see that one of Seth Rogen saying? They said, "Who's the hardest person you've worked with?" And they were like gonna list them, and like before they list them, he goes, "Jonah." Period.
Really?
Yeah.
Is just the
Like
hardest.
he's kind of joking, but like
Yeah.
he's not joking. But like
I was just watching This Is the End last night to fall asleep.
it's funny.
Oh, it is so good. Danny McBride in that movie.
It's so specific. I can't believe it was like a major
I know.
release.
Feels like it was made for like our demographic exactly, people who'd grown up on. I mean, but obviously that's the world. Like
the Michael
everyone loves.
Cera bit, and
Yeah.
like Aziz Ansari gets like thrown into like a pit.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so like L.A. comedy scene or whatever, but also like the Seth Rogen, Judd Apatow
Yeah,
universe.
the demonic Danny McBride stuff is really funny.
Oh, he's so good. And then I just got to the part because I don't remember. I only watched it once, but where Jonah Hill is like, praying for Justin Long to die. Like he's been so nice to Justin Long the entire time, and then his evil veneer finally shines through.
It's funny.
Yeah.
They used to be roommates. I listened to Justin Long's podcast, and
Justin Long and
Jonah Hill.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's the
Jonah
party.
Hill lived in like a closet.
So that's the party that they invited that 16-year-old to go to, and Jonah Hill kissed her. Did you hear that?
Oh no!
But people now
Now all
are,
the stories are coming.
yeah.
Well, I watched, sorry, not to be the Jonah Hill minute, I watched that movie Stutz on Netflix that he made about his therapist
Oh, right.
because I was like, I wanted to mine for intel.
Oh,
like
Good call.
in retrospect. And it's whatever. It's like indulgent and like kind of boring. But his mom is on it, and he like confronts his mom about how she treated him as like a fat child. And not confronts, it's a gentle
I
conversation.
thought he was
but
overly loved, probably.
yeah, it's just he talks about how self-conscious he was growing up, and that his mom, you know, would try and get him to lose weight, and that he felt bad about that and stuff like this. But I just got the vibe that his mom thinks he's an asshole too.
Really?
And
like she raised a
his
cretin.
sister Beanie just got married like 2 months ago, and her wedding was on the same weekend that his child was born. And I'm like, you have one sibling and you planned your wedding for the weekend of his child's birth?
He has a child?
Yeah.
And is he married to someone?
I don't know if they're married.
But it was his ex-girlfriend who shared those boundaries that he had.
Yes.
Did you like those boundaries?
I love all the memes that are coming. It's like my summer plans. It's like surfing with guys, hanging out with my psycho friends.
Showing my skin in a bikini?
Yeah.
It is great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think I have complicated feelings about the whole thing because on one hand, I think this is a good conversation to be had because it's a very specific type of, I don't know if you want to go as far to call it abuse, but just like shithead controlling behavior.
Yeah.
That I think is a good thing to be on people's minds as like you can tell someone to fuck off or that like that's whack and whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, why is this public knowledge? Like if it's one thing if someone's like a rapist and like the public needs to be warned, but this is kind of just like minutia to me.
I guess. I think I don't see why we, as the world needs to know
be
it.
Involved.
Huh?
Yeah, we don't need to be involved.
I don't need to be involved with it, but it did confirm some suspicions I had about this public person.
Yeah.
And so to see evidence that this presumed asshole is actually as big of an asshole as I imagine he could be.
There's some Schadenfreude.
There is some Schadenfreude, which is not good. Maybe I shouldn't have I've never known about that. I do think his boundaries were silly.
Yeah. Well, also, she was a surfer when they met, and their first interaction was him replying to her photos of her surfing in a bikini. So that's what drew his eye in the first place.
And then he didn't want anybody else to look upon her body in a swimsuit.
Yeah, like fuck off.
That's Jonah Hill for you.
Yeah, I'm not into his whole like Zen surfer 2.0 persona.
Me neither. He's had a lot of rebrands, it seems, and this one is probably the worst.
I wonder if he's texting with Leo right now. What should I do?
Probably. Leo has never been in the public eye like for 1 second, right? I mean, he has been, but he's never like.
Well, he keeps it on the down
like
low.
you don't know really anything about him.
Yeah, Giselle never released texts.
Really?
About Leo. Well, anyways, that was the Jonah minute, but
people need to hear about that. I want to say, even though we just said that Kenya was completely awful on set and that Candy was completely awful on set, take that with a grain of salt. You never know what people are going through. Also, they interact with 1 million people every month, and you have to imagine the ratio of good to bad. But like I said, if you're a celebrity, just say, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm so sorry, I have to go. My wife needs me, or my husband needs me, or my significant other, and then run.
Yeah.
But just say, just get out of there.
Last thing I'll say, because it combines the two topics, Bethany said that when she was on the Tonight Show with Jonah Hill, that he was a dick to her, and he made her feel like a small piece of shit.
Bethany said that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man.
So.
Well...
And she's met a lot of celebs.
I know. Well, Jonah Hill's whole shtick was being awful and mean, like his character in Superbad. This is the end. Everything he's done. He's like a pretentious dickhead type guy.
Yeah.
Right. So he was sort of validated in that persona, and you think, I guess it validates you in sort of life. Like, this is why people come to me.
Right.
For this persona.
Right.
And then it reinforces, and also being successful reinforces your bad behavior.
Right. Especially once he got into like the Oscar category.
Yeah. Someone very wise said once that celebrity and fame, it doesn't turn you into a different person, but if there is an inkling of like a bad spirit or like ethically, morally corrupt behavior in yourself, fame and celebrity just magnifies that.
Yeah.
But the people who don't really have that, it can turn you, but usually the people that just had good spirits and were kind and considerate, that just evolves throughout. But there are so many opportunities for you to get awful as you climb the ladder of success.
You know who would be really disappointing that just came to mind? I can't believe that she would be bad is Amy Adams.
Has anyone said she's bad?
No,
I don't think so.
but I'm just saying.
You know what also is to think about? This is the total Hollywood minute. If there's an actor that you think is like really amazing and they just start to have a bad career and they're not in good movies for a long period of time, the odds are that they are just so horrible to work with that everyone in Hollywood knows that they can't be on movie sets anymore because they are just too awful.
Yeah.
And that goes around. Casting directors talk about it. Directors talk about it. So if someone is having a bad career but you know they're a phenomenal actor, it is because pretty likely they're just an awful human being and no one wants to work with them.
Or Harvey Weinstein blacklisted them.
Oh, okay. Well, there's many reasons why they might be having a bad career, but one unsung aspect is that they are just awful on set.
Yeah.
The best example I can think of that's confirmed is Michael Pitt. You know, Michael Pitt from Boardwalk Empire. He was fired off Boardwalk Empire because he was just so awful to everyone, the worst person in the world. His agents dropped him.
Oh, wow.
He's just a monster to every single person.
How does he make money anymore?
He doesn't.
Like...
He acts. He was in one season of Hannibal, and then they had to fire him because they realized, oh God, the rumors are true. This guy's awful. And then everyone excuses his behavior. Terrence Winter said that they wrote him off of Boardwalk Empire. Is that a spoiler? Sorry.
No.
Had you seen it?
I've watched it.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Anyway, Michael Pitt is awful, and then that is just one that we know about. But there are, I'd say, 10% of people and actors, like, they're just awful on set because they're just, I don't know, they have something wrong with them.
Douchebags.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so should we jump into the OG's lunch? Was it a lunch?
Really, this episode is just the OG dinner and a charity event.
Yeah.
And then I have one interesting thing that I think is underrated about the season that I'll talk about if we don't get to it organically. But the OG dinner, it's very inorganic.
Yeah.
Very dumb.
Yeah.
Sheree says, I wanted to have a classic dinner night with my friends that I've kept up with so much that I wanted to give you all a glimpse at these OG dinners we have, which I can guarantee they have not happened probably once in 14 years.
I wish that Kim came in with a solo cup.
Yeah, like she was
that would have been
drinking.
fun.
Yeah.
She does look good, though.
Who?
Kim.
Oh, Kim looks great. Deshaun
They
looks
all
great.
look good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Deshaun looks amazing.
Yeah.
She
didn't speak.
Deshaun deserves some sort of award for being in a scene and not uttering more than 3 words. This was her chance to potentially be back on Atlanta, and she didn't say 1 word.
It was crazy.
But also, Lisa and Kim were taking up so much of the oxygen. Lisa was singing for her supper.
Yeah.
At that supper. She wanted camera time. She was like all over the place, trying her best to get a word in.
Yeah. Kim said when they said that she looks good, she said the only good thing about that bitch, aka her mom, is her jeans.
Yep.
And there were like 3 different things that Kim says where Sheree goes, not that.
Yeah.
Like, not the only good thing about her jeans. Like, she was just like, you're outrageous.
And then Kim says, I say what I think. That's me, Kim Zolciak. Don't you remember me? It's like very, it all felt so performative.
Yeah, it was like in recap. And then Sheree seemingly is trying to get them go on the cast trip to Portugal, and it just like dies on the vine.
I think they're going.
Are they going?
I think that they just...
Is there footage of that?
Oh,
like, was that in the preview?
I didn't see any footage from Portugal. Did you?
There was like in the mid-season trailer, there was like at least a moment of like cheersing or something. But
okay.
I didn't.
Well, she invited them all. I guess Kim said
Kim
no.
was like, no. And then she goes, whose bag is that? It's really cute. Like, she tries to change the subject. But it's like she wouldn't even go on the trips when she was on the show.
Kim left the show when a cast trip came up that she didn't want to go on. I mean, I was thinking that would be the worst idea in the world. I do not want to see Lisa, Wu, Sean, and Kim on a trip with the current cast members.
Right.
Lisa Wu, when Kim got there, Lisa was like, I don't know whether to hug you or chop you in the neck or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they play a clip from 14 years ago when Lisa and Kim had a little spat or whatever.
I don't even remember that.
And I was like, are we supposed to believe that Lisa's had a grudge against Kim?
Well, she kept saying it over and over again. She was like, I don't hate you anymore. And I'm like, how deep was your
and
feud?
Kim goes, I never hated you. And then Lisa goes, I never hated you either. It's Lisa's flopping hard.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Deshaun
yeah.
flopped by just not saying anything.
Right.
And Kim was fine. She's always entertaining, but she
Yeah.
was performative, and
Yeah.
the scene was so inorganic that it just couldn't be good.
No. Another outrageous thing she said was RHOA was listing off who was going on the trip, and Kenya was on the list, and Kim goes, is that bitch still alive?
That's right where my notes pointed to. I go, it's like, damn, wait, you're.
And then she was like, not is that bitch still alive? Which, honestly, funny.
Yeah, that was good.
But she's very, as always, Kim is absolutely full of shit and will never admit to anything going wrong in her life. So when they bring up the foreclosure and the divorce, she just makes like an insane like stank face and is like, you think I'm selling my multi-million-dollar house for $200,000? It's like, well, bitch, on TikTok I'm seeing your itemized debts and to your gambling addiction. So yeah, that is something that could happen.
Yeah. Also, it's very realistic to assume that after Atlanta is over and your spinoff show is over, that your spending is out.
Like, yeah, what money is coming in?
Right.
Croy's career was short-lived, as
Right.
most football players are.
And he doesn't. What is his career post football?
Right. I think I started to talk about this earlier, but there's body cam footage of cops came to their house because they were fighting. It doesn't sound like anything like actually horrible happened. It was just
I
like,
feel like it was breaking doors down to get to her, right?
right. Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
But I think it got before anything horrible happened, but
yeah, and this was before they said we're getting back together.
Right. But there's one of her very upset, crying about that she like locked herself in the bathroom and all of this stuff, and it's like sad. And then there's another one that's just him broing down with the cop. The cop is like so nice to him, clearly like a fan. Like the cop is like
wow.
into it, and Croy is saying she has spent $700,000 on gambling. We have nothing left. Like, the cop is like, are you guys staying in the same room? And he was like, there are no assets left for one of us to get an apartment. Basically saying there's no money left. He said that they sleep in the same bed because they have a special $15,000 bed that he bought for his body, basically implying like because he's an athlete he needs a $15,000 bed. And the cop goes, of course. He was like, I was injured in Iraq. Like, they get into this whole thing, and I'm like, why are we talking about the price of your bed? Like, it was giving, can you believe, $25,000? Like,
yeah. What kind of bed is it that really helps you like that?
I don't know, maybe it's extra large.
What kind of gambling game does Kim do?
I don't remember, but it can be, the receipts are online. The charges are there.
You don't know what type, like it's not blackjack or like slots?
Well, I remember on the show on Don't Be Tardy, they would go to casinos, like they would drive out of their way to casinos, and she would go up to the window and get out like 20 grand and sit at a slot machine.
Okay.
So this has always
it
been
was
happening.
slots.
But then she's doing something online too. Like, I think a bulk of it was online gambling.
Would you ever become a gambler?
I don't think so. I don't gamble at all.
The games are so not fun. Like
Yeah.
the gambling games.
Yeah.
Like blackjack and the roulette
Yeah.
and the one that just spins. I mean, the games are so.
I'd like to play with someone else's money.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
if someone I walked into a casino and was like, here's $1,000, like, go have fun.
Yeah,
Like, that could be fun.
I would love that too, but it's your money. And you have to know, ultimately, no matter what, you're going to lose money, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're cheating in the casino,
Right.
which we would never do.
Right. But similar to, there's so much footage of Kim spending money the way that there was of like Teresa season 1, just spending like
Yeah.
tens and hundreds of
She
thousands
was a
of
big spender.
dollars.
That was like part of her identity.
Yeah, she was just, which it just doesn't add up. Like, how much money could they possibly have for her to wear exclusively designer clothes and just be getting shipments of stuff at all times and driving luxury cars, and they have like 6 kids. Like, I'm like, where's your money coming from? It doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, they had money. They were a successful reality TV show couple, but I'm sure their spending always was over what they were earning,
right?
And then it got to a point where there was no income coming in. I don't think either of them have a successful side business. Right.
She, for a while, I don't follow her, but she had like
Does she have a wig company?
Maybe wigs. She had skincare or hair care and like bikinis, I think. So she has some shit going on, but I don't know. But yeah, it was funny that she just was super dismissive of it, even though obviously in confessionals and stuff, when people asked if they believed that was happening, everyone's like, yeah.
What did you make of when they were doing Tardy for the Party and Kim was just like, I had a song and I sang a song and it just went big or something? It was like, was she trying to negate Candy's influence in that whole process, or was she just trying to
just dismissive? But I liked that they rolled the clip from that reunion where they performed together.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, one of my favorite, I think, Atlanta like arcs is Candy and Kim on the tour bus together. That was like, that's the best. That was so amazing.
Yeah. Really fun.
Yeah.
But
so this OG dinner couldn't have been a bigger flop to me. It just was too artificial, and Deshaun and Lisa were fired for a reason.
Yeah.
And if they're trying to draw from that well to make Atlanta good again, that is not the well you draw from.
Right. Did you notice that Kim was saying that she reconciled with Candy at Portia's wedding?
I think so.
And then Sheree's like, I think Sheree said, I was there.
Oh, really?
And I'm like...
Well, also Sheree was like, I'm a grandma now, and none of them knew. And I was like, okay, so these dinners don't happen often, and you don't keep in touch
I'm like,
at all.
Instagram? Like,
man, if one thing that would save Atlanta or bump it up 2 points is if Portia came back.
Yeah.
Portia, I think for her mental health or whatever, she decided her Atlanta era was over, but she's probably my first or second favorite Atlanta
She's
housewife.
funny.
I love Portia so much.
Yeah. The Underground Railroad moment is one of the finest Housewives moments of all time.
Yeah. Might be the biggest L that's ever been taken in Housewives history.
Especially considering her family's lineage.
Yeah, and especially the double down she does. Like, she doesn't just try to get out of it. She doubles down a little bit. I mean, yeah, that was rough. But she really came back. I mean...
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so...
Oh, then we're at charity time.
The Mommy Awards.
So, the Mommies... just like the Emmys, they are to go to outstanding mothers, and this is a charity event. So there's so many programs, I guess, for homeless children. Mm-hmm. And Sonya said, what about homeless moms?
Yeah,
so this is a charity event, so a very worthy cause. I really like this.
Yeah,
I thought this was a good. It wasn't amazing enough to like save the episode, but it was a good end to the episode, the last like 15 minutes of it. But what I think is underrated about Sonya that they're not tapping into fully is this relationship with Sonya's family and her sister and her brother-in-law.
Yeah.
There is something deep going on there that they're just starting to hint at, which is that
they seem to fight every time they're together.
Well, I mean, in a very, like, the worst thing you could say is that it seems like her entire family she's the golden goose of the family, and the entire family is basically taking on managerial roles or working for her.
And resent her for it.
Especially her sister and the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
I mean, the brother-in-law quit. Riz quit on, like, the second day of them filming because he said that the demands were too egregious for him. So he just quit, but he's still living in the home.
Right.
So instead of, like, I don't know, I guess working for her, trying to maintain, make income on his own, he just quit, and then resents her. And then the sister resents Sonya as well because she says she's not getting schedules, like she doesn't know when to show up to do the hair.
Right.
And she made Sonya cry. Yeah. Because she said, I'm so unhappy. I'm so disgruntled.
They were speaking in like patois at the beginning because it sounded like the sister didn't want to say it in front of production, that she didn't know that they were going to be filmed. Like, she was like, I thought this was going to be B-roll.
Oh, that's what she said?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Did that add to why she was so upset?
I think so. It sounds like maybe Sonya is disorganized and needs help, and she's hoping her family will help her,
Right,
and then they're mad at her for not being organized in asking for help.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting that there's that dynamic with her sister, and then there's the Drew and her sister stuff, which I also think is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, this episode, Drew listed out her sister's career accomplishments, where actually, like, she had like a major, like,
yeah, she wrote on multiple TV shows. She was an agent, a literary agent.
yeah, like, she had a cool background, and I didn't realize she was 20 years older.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
And then they said that she never, like, she had domestic abuse in her past, and she had never really dealt with it. She had just, like, worked through it, like, busy to the point of where she never had to, like, seek help for it. And then I think, did someone say that it was, like, during COVID when she didn't have anything to do? All of those, like, thoughts and unresolved trauma started to bubble up.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So that was interesting as well.
Yeah. She seems like a nice person.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So
yeah, it's interesting. But with I think Sonya for me is the best new cast member, and I think that they are not. Well, they're starting to, but there is, you know, some compelling dynamics within Sonya's family life that I think they need to explore more.
For sure. Yeah, and then it's kind of a spoiler in the preview. They seem to announce that she's pregnant in the mid-season trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that.
I like Ross too, her husband.
Yeah,
he seems
they
nice.
seem. Yeah,
He wants her family out of there though, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine living with my entire family.
Her
That
dad
sounds
and mom
insane.
seem nice though.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like what they were saying of, it made sense when she was a competitive athlete at but that's not the case anymore. So it's different.
Right.
But yeah. So this event is kind of weird. It looked kind of like a boring event. For some reason, they brought Cairo.
Right. Well, okay. Sheree, surprise, but Sheree got an award at this event.
A mommy award.
Yeah, mommy award, and they got Cairo, who I guess apparently doesn't like to be. He's not.
He said less
performative.
than Deshaun.
Yeah, he said less, but he just said I love my mom or whatever. And Sheree melted. She loved it. Like it was very, very sweet. And I love Sheree vulnerable moments. Like, I love when Sheree is happy and excited. Like that was really sweet. A win for Sheree. And then Kenya is an hour and a half late when she agreed to be the auctioneer, which is the most important role of this thing.
Yeah, the whole point is that it's a fundraiser.
And then when Sonya calls Kenya and says, "Hey, why the hell are you getting your hair done right now? You're supposed to be here an hour ago." Kenya goes, "I heard from someone in your staff that I'm not sitting with my +1. I'm gonna have they're at a different table or whatever." So she's sort of trying to make it seem like she won't come until that issue is resolved.
Right.
Like she's putting that as a condition.
Yeah.
Which is horrible. If someone's already late and you're like, "Oh God, you're teasing this over me to try to make you get here." So then Sonya's like, "Okay, fine, you can sit together, whatever."
Yeah.
And then right before I think someone else is about to auctioneer to take over for Kenya, she arrives.
Yeah, and she's wearing the most batshit outfit I've ever seen. It's at what we have confirmed 10:45 a.m. was when Candy was set to get there.
Okay.
So she was an hour and a half late, so it was like noon, whatever.
And what was she wearing?
She was wearing a like cha-cha, like ruffle red, backless dress that was like an evening gown that she ordered and said that it didn't fit her. So she had to have it taken out before she got there, which is partially why she was late, with like black, I think she was wearing like thigh-high boots, possibly elbow-length gloves, and her hair was in like a chaotic, messy, giant ponytail. And I'm like, bitch, it's 11 a.m. Wear a blazer. Like, why?
What did Marlo say about her outfit?
She said she looked like the crumpled up ruby red slippers when the witch gets hit by the house.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't. For some reason I didn't take stock of what she was wearing. I don't know what's
I
wrong
just
with
like
me.
couldn't stop thinking about how early in the morning it was
Right.
and how outrageous that look was. It was
Right.
like showing so much skin, so over the top. And I'm like, the event's over by 1. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yes. But then when Kenya does arrive, she's wearing the crumpled up ruby red slippers. But her energy as an auctioneer,
Yeah.
when she gets on the stage and she's given the mic and hears their goal and she's like, it's 50,000. Kenya's like, she's like, we have 50,000 at this table right here. We're going to double it.
She called them out.
And I her energy as an auctioneer, like Kenya is probably the most entertaining, just like anything she does, she can just turn on the entertainment muscle because her auctioneering skills were amazing.
Yeah.
She immediately does the first bid of 5,000 just off the top.
Yeah.
Gets everybody hyped as hell.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then who else is going to join me in the 5,000 bid?
Yeah.
And Candy's like,
Candy matches.
yeah,
Yeah.
Candy matches. And then reluctantly, it starts the snowball starts to happen. Well, first they start to divide how much 50,000 is per 7 people, and they're like
Yeah.
$7,000
Yeah.
each. They know they're
Yeah.
almost on the hook for that.
Drew's like, I got my 7. Candy's like, I got my 7 if you got your 7.
Right.
And then she's like, 5.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I was very confused about how they were keeping track of
I
the
think they edited
bids.
it for max
right.
pace.
Right.
You know, it was
Like, do you think people were standing up and going like 500?
totally.
Like
They just cut.
1,000.
They cut it to be Kenya's best hits.
Yeah.
And Kenya's strategy of going over 50,000 worked because she rallied everyone. She got them so hyped up. She was so entertaining. They get to $78,000, which is
Not
you know,
quite 100, but that's good.
but that's fine. She set an unrealistic goal, and if the goal was actually 50, getting
Yeah.
28,000 over.
Do you think
is
everybody
huge.
paid up?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously,
Remember
Kenya.
the drama with Garcelle at Kim's fundraiser where Kyle publicly accused Garcelle of not paying the Pied Piper her
That was-
$25,000,
That was awful.
and then
Did-
she was like, "You're racist."
Yeah. Did Garcelle do it?
She said that I think it turned out that she had, and that was like
Yeah.
a misunderstanding.
Right. How much was it?
I think it was like 25,000.
$25,000.
Don't call me out, but I think it was like that much. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Which Garcelle's doing Barbie Spawn on Bravo, so she has the dough.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, well, good. So then, yeah, the episode sort of ends on a high note, at least for me. I just love that Kenya was able to go from, like an hour and a half late, talking about her +1, being
Yeah.
all like, rude to Sonya.
Yeah.
Also saying like Sonya needs to call her agent next time she gets her to do one of these things for free or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But then when Kenya is on, I can see she like lights up the room. Like
Right.
she is so good at what she does. And I thought that was fun, and it was for a good cause, which I really liked.
Yeah.
Anything
yeah.
else about that damn episode?
Not really.
I mean, it was. Well, I mean, we're 47 minutes. I guess I have hope that Atlanta will pull it out, and we have I think probably 8 episodes remaining, so we're
Yeah.
like mid-season.
Yeah. Including cast trip. So
Cast trip could be fun. I do think though, if the producers are trying to, like I said, derive some worth or entertainment from previous cast members, without Nene, that's not going to work. Without Nene, Kim, and Portia, who are
Yeah.
like the true stars from the past. Lisa
Right.
Wu and Deshawn are not going to bring anything past what they did in season 2 or whatever.
no.
So
Okay. Yeah.
well, let's Atlanta's
OC.
over, and then why don't we take a beautiful, wonderful trip to the West Coast, right?
Orange County.
Orange County.
Yes.
And maybe we can talk, because we didn't talk about 5, which,
Right.
I think was a flop to end all flops.
Yeah, I
And then
didn't take any specific. I don't think I took specific notes on 5. If you want to walk me through any highlights that are
Yeah.
pertinent to episode 6, or just in general.
So episode 5 is really, I think, the biggest dramatic moments of this season, unfortunately, are at Jen's expense and Ryan's expense. We learned the bombshell that when Ryan walked into the gym on his first day at Cut Fitness,
Yeah.
this is something I'll just be honest. This is something you do when you walk into the gym. You point out exactly who at the gym you're gonna fuck. So apparently Tamra has been holding this information the entire time.
I need to know more about this scenario where he just walked in and said, "I'm gonna fuck her."
Who did he tell?
Yeah,
Someone was standing
just
next to him.
into the.
And they go, and that person next to him
ether.
goes, no, yeah, he just said it. Like it echoed throughout the gym. Apparently he said it to this person,
Mystery
off
woman
camera,
Heather?
Amin.
Yeah.
Which at first time they said
I'm
Heather.
like, get her in the cast.
Yeah, she's really doing some things on the sidelines. Apparently Ryan came in like a wrecking ball to cut fitness. He told Heather, he goes, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of Tamra immediately. And Heather goes, no, she has a husband. And he goes, nah, I don't care. I'm still gonna do it. Which
I mean, they're creating him to be this diabolical person. Like Eddie says later that he had been warned that he goes after married women and that he should watch out. And I'm like, who is this predator?
right. And then I love the revelation. Now then I'm sort of like, okay, I don't believe that. Like that's ridiculous. Leave Ryan alone. Leave Jen alone.
Yeah.
Jen is the future of the OC. You got to leave her alone. But then we find out that Ryan, unfortunately, sent a full-blown. Is this in episode 5? It doesn't matter. It's the Ryan minute.
I think it came up in last episode.
He on Snapchat sent a full dick pic to Heather Amin. This Heather, and he meant to send it to his wife, or his girlfriend Jen.
Do you believe that?
Well, also he said his only contacts were his children.
So does that mean he sent it to like his kids? Because he says he sent it to his whole phone book.
Yes, he selected all instead of sending it to Jen. So he sent a full dick pic to his children and Heather. And I forget what it said. It said, It said,
it's like, I miss you.
me. No, it says me and my limp dick miss you to his children. So then
Hopefully
I'm like,
they let it expire for 24 hours.
do you think he said no, please don't open it? That's almost like Succession level,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I think that he should get more into how horrifying that experience was for us to believe it, because he kind of brushed it off like, well, yeah, I sent it to her. I sent it to everyone in my damn photo or my phone book. And it's like, that's fucked up.
That's awful. And they did. Yeah, you're right. They didn't make it that enough of a thing.
Like, she was very nonchalant about it to the point where now I'm getting vibes of Ariana lying for Sandoval.
Yeah.
Where she's just like, I know exactly what it was, and that you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, and counter to what we said the last time we talked about OC, where it's like I'm over this. Don't talk about Jen's relationship. It doesn't need to be fodder for
They're
drama.
making it worse.
They are really giving me little seeds of things that I'm like, okay, wait, maybe we should have a little spotlight on this. Sending dick pics to a friend named Heather, the potentially saying I want to have sex with Tamara at the gym. I don't know. That sounds pretty. I don't know if that's
right.
Alleged.
And then Tamara said that Heather and Jen were the new Tres Amigas.
Oh, I know.
Until everything fell apart.
Yeah, and also they're like the thing where he put a self-imposed break on their relationship, then immediately hooked up with an ex.
Right.
And he's cheated in every single relationship, so this is the one he's going to be faithful in. There are
red flags.
There are so many red flags to where, yeah, just like you said, it's like this is becoming a topic of interest now. It's like we are learning enough things to where I get why this is being talked about.
Yeah, I feel like there's two different categories. There's this, what we're talking about, all of these weird little things, that the details that are coming out, and then there's the Gina's judgment of it all, which I find very boring. And
me too.
More about her trauma, which is something that comes up in this episode where everyone's basically like, you need to go to therapy. Like,
yeah, the fact that it's Gina bringing this drama to light and running with it makes me skeptical of it, because I don't care. I don't believe Gina, and I believe she has sadness around the cheating in her relationship, but I don't believe how much she cannot fathom or I don't know, be a part of Jen's infidelity, and it's like that's what's triggering her. I believe she's amping that up for drama if I know anything about Gina. So it makes it a hard sell for me. There was an interesting thing I learned about my favorite house husband, Shane Simpson. Do you remember this from episode 5?
What?
they're talking about Annabelle and her newfound.
gosh.
She signed to the
Yes.
agency,
Yes.
which is great. She's on her kid modeling journey or
Yeah.
whatever. And then Shane Simpson lets a huge fact from his past be known. He had a cable
Like public access. Like Wayne's World.
television
vibes.
show in high school, senior year.
I
of high
love
school.
that. That was cool.
Yeah, where he
Do you
was-
think she actually didn't know that? Because she claims that she never knew that.
I believe he probably has brought it up maybe only twice in his life, and it's just something that she didn't remember, and maybe he doesn't talk about it a lot.
That's such Gen X vibes.
Yes, but Shane, to me, is everything I learned more about him is more and more engaging. I've already loved Shane, but that was an awesome new anecdote to learn. And then he tells Emily, he's like, I'm an interesting character if you pay attention. And I'm like, that's true, man. You really
Spin-off.
are.
Well, lawyer.
Yeah. Oh. Shane, do you like Shane?
Yes.
He's amazing, right?
He's funny.
He's so we talked about this. They gave him such a bad edit when Kelly Dodd was calling him a little
A
nerd.
dork.
Yeah, a little dork.
Jimmy's favorite is one time, I think it was when they were having marital struggles, but he orders dinner for her, that like gentlemanly thing where you like
Yes.
order for the lady.
Yes.
And he goes, she'll have the burger.
Yeah, that's sweet. I also like the fun photo they show of them getting married, and it shows Shane
on his
standing
tippy
on his tippy toes. It's
She
so
revealed he's 5'7".
Wow. Yeah. I mean, they are amazing. They
seem like actually happy.
Yes. They have the best banter. They are
And
so
I
in
can't
love.
express how sorely Emily's presence was missed on this fucking trip.
I was just gonna say
They should have pushed it back.
Yeah, and that is a true testament to the strength of a cast member.
Yeah.
I missed Emily, and the little moment of Shane and her in the kitchen just talking about his public access show was more entertaining to me than half of the Montana trip.
Yeah. I felt the blank space all
Yes.
over the place where I'm like, would have been great if she could be here.
She is a gel or a glue that really gets the machinery working when she's in a scene. She
Yeah.
knows the right way to pivot between groups, to bring up drama in an organic way.
Yeah.
She's fun on her own. I love her home life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just not much else to say. I was going to ask you, do you think Dr. Jen and Ryan, I felt like there was some merit to those cast members. Why do you think they were one and done?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Remember when Dr. Jen got really, really drunk with Ryan at that dinner, and
Yeah.
Ryan could barely speak one word at the dinner because he was so uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And Dr.
wasn't
Jen
he wearing like flip-flops or something? And Heather was like, darling. Like, or
darling.
remember he like never wore a top
Yeah.
like every time
yeah,
they
and
showed
he-
him.
Yeah, I mean,
And when they left, Terry was like, what did he say?
he
was
goes,
like,
I love Ryan, but they are a shit show relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just honest about
and
it.
they were all like, ha ha ha, ha.
But I thought there was some merit to them. Dr.
Yeah.
Jen was not embarrassing. She wasn't desperate for storylines. She just kind of was slightly unhinged, but slightly self-aware. And then Ryan, they had a lot of simmering tension. I don't know if
Yeah.
they got divorced or whatever. I'm just not sure
Yeah.
why they didn't want to continue their journey.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, like in real life.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
well, they just got a different version.
Yeah, and then when Tamara brings up that this thing happened where Ryan said, he pointed at Tamara and he said, I'm going to make love to her before the day is over. Jen goes, why are you telling me this now on a trip in front of all my friends? This is awful. I can't believe this. And then Tamara sort of gets mad at Jen.
Right.
And then I feel so sympathetic towards Jen because she seems sweet and genuine, and she's like the punching bag for almost everyone.
Right.
Like, she's who they go to get some drama points whenever they need it. Which
Yeah.
is sad. And Tamara is the most egregious because she was her friend.
Right. Tamara also says that she's not the only married woman he's fucked in my gym.
Tamara said that?
Yeah.
God, oh my God. Cut Fitness is like a total fuck fest.
Yeah. Which I guess this is jumping ahead to the preview or whatever, but it seems like it gets so much worse. And in the preview for next week, Tamara throws a napkin in Jen's face, and it's sad. And it does appear that everyone rallies around Jen, knowing that was a bridge too far.
I wrote that down. to talk with you about that. That hurt my feelings. Jen is so nice.
She just looked really upset by it. Like, she didn't get mad. She just looked sad.
Jen also, when she was like crying to Ryan, she's like, I just don't like this kind of stuff, which I understand people will be like, then you're not built for Housewives if you can't take it. But
Yeah.
you need people who are genuine and
Yeah.
nice and normal and can still be fun. So they're really treating her like shit.
Yeah.
Tamra specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, I did kind of, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny that the conversation on the new episode was immediately Shannon saying the exact same thing that Heather had just said about how, what's Gina's boyfriend's name? Travis. She was like, how much can Travis take? Like, everyone's
Why?
I was like, why are you thinking the exact same thing?
Is that like, I mean, it's mainly Heather.
Yeah.
She is her case that Travis will not like that Gina is so torn up over her ex-husband that she's getting to have so many feelings about it that he'll like leave her. Since when does Heather like care about what Travis will do if he hears too many of these dark thoughts that Gina has? I thought it was a weird.
It's kind of
position to
weird.
take.
But Heather also seemed like oddly emotional about it. Like, she looked like she was on the verge of tears, which was weird. Yeah, it was a weird power dynamic there. And then obviously later Travis was like, of course you can tell me these things or whatever. So I don't know, but I just thought it was funny that once the conversation went to the full group, Shannon said the exact same thing.
Yeah, Shannon got worked up about something. Shannon got worked up that Heather said when they were doing their peach in their pit about the trip.
Right.
I remember, and Heather was just like, I got kind of sad when I saw you and Tamara having such an amazing relationship. I felt left out. And Shannon's like, how the hell could you ever say that? Like,
She's
Shannon,
like, I never thought I would be face to face with this girl again. How dare you?
Yeah. And Heather was just like, I'm sorry. I was just telling my feelings, which I kind of felt bad for Heather in that instance. Like, you took something that she was self-conscious about, and then you threw it back in her face that she brought it up.
Right. And then they're all like, what do you mean you don't have a pit? You told Taylor to fuck off. And she's like, I didn't want to talk about it again.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. A highlight for me of the entire Montana trip was the whitewater rafting trip.
With the guy's balls out.
I mean, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is why I do think Andy says this is a rebound season. Little fun, silly moments like that. Like, what are the odds that, what was his name, Kenny G? What
was it?
I forget, Kevin G. He was fully only.
Do you
wearing,
think he knew?
No.
I think he gets off on it.
You think he's like a little? What's that called? When you a nude
sex pest.
A sex pest? No, it has a word. Exhibitionist.
Oh, okay.
When you're someone who delights in.
I mean, you have to feel. I mean, you can. I'm not working with those materials, but wouldn't you know?
No,
if you're in a splash zone and your balls are exposed.
It's so much more innocent to think that he just didn't see
Head
the
in the
positioning of his
clouds.
balls. But if you think he was showing off his balls to camera right
and
in
they
front
were
of
all
them,
basically talking about it in front of him. They were all
They
like,
were
we should have spaghetti and meatballs for lunch.
they were like, his balls were blue and they looked really cold.
Jen said purple, cold, and shriveled. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That was the best of
Tamara said it was like looking at my son's balls, which I was like, what do you mean?
Tamara has a very strange relationship with Ryan. I mean, I felt that.
What
the
did she
entire
mean
time.
by that? Because he was young?
No, Ryan is. I don't even want to get into it. It borders on. I don't want to talk about incestual stuff, but I've always felt that Tamara and Ryan's dynamic was a little off.
Incestuous?
So, a little slightly.
Oh no!
I think Ryan.
Are you talking about Naked Wasted Night? Like.
I think Ryan is. This is like, I don't even want to say it. It's too weird. Well, I'll just say it. I think Ryan has sort of like, I don't like, what's it called? Oedipal. I think he has an Oedipal complex. I think he thinks his mom is really hot, and Tamara doesn't dissuade him of that.
Sick.
Is that okay to say? You never felt that?
I've never thought of it that way.
Okay.
But he definitely has something wrong.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just pretend I didn't say anything about that. But that to me was this. I guess that event was okay. So put these cast members in a boring environment, and it's extra boring.
Yeah.
They're not like RHONY, where I could watch them sit in a waiting room in a doctor's office for someone to get their leg, like a leg sprain happen. Just watch whatever happens. OC is boring if you put them in a boring event, but that was just great because it was like fun and silly, and all their commentary was great.
Yeah.
So if there's more moments like that, I could see OC getting good.
Yeah. I did like, well, not like, but when Gina gets pissed off that they're all saying that her boyfriend can't handle her bullshit, she said that that Heather and Shannon were making a spectacle of her problems.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck do you think you've been doing to
Oh, yeah.
Jen
Yeah.
for 6 episodes?
Yeah. And then Gina decides at the end of this episode, it's almost like a cliffhanger or whatever. Gina's like decides to go on a full-on assault on Heather for
Right.
she gets like her feelings towards Heather get all amplified. Like she's like, I'm ready for my next drama. The era of Jen is over. Now I'm going to go against Heather for trying to get me not to talk to Travis about my problems, you know?
Right.
And she's trying to take this moment up to a 10 and pretend like Heather is just not a good friend to her.
Right.
You know, she's getting some drama, she's trying to run with it, which
Yeah.
has been her MO this entire season.
Yeah. Did you see online that Teddy Mellencamp accused Gina of being boring?
Teddy did?
Yeah.
Well,
she was like, you're going to need to open up about your own life. And most of the comments I saw were attacking Teddy because she's historically a very boring housewife. But
I
yeah.
felt like Teddy was underrated.
Really?
Yeah, I really like her.
Okay.
I like the people that my whole philosophy is that not everyone needs to be a 9 out of 10 on the entertaining scale.
Yeah.
You like viewer surrogates sometimes who are just even keeled. They can be the bridge between warring factions. I thought Teddy was good enough, and she single-handedly took down Lisa.
Yeah.
She took down Lisa Vanderpump. I mean, I believed Tamara when she said, I felt like a pawn in your game with the Lucy.
Yeah. Lucy Juicy Apple Goosey? Lucy Goosey Apple Juicy.
Yeah, I felt like it was Teddy single-handedly that took down Lisa.
Oh, by the way, on our Patreon, someone commented because we were talking about, I don't remember if it was on this show or the Patreon, but Schwartz and Sandy's has Juicy Lucy burgers.
Yes.
And Schwartz on season 2 was making Juicy Lucy burgers. And we originally had thought that they were in reference to Lucy Goosey Apple Juicy on Beverly Hills. But then when we saw it on season 2, it predates that drama.
Yes.
And it turns out in Minnesota, a Lucy Juicy burger is a burger that has cheese in the middle.
Yeah. So you thought you knew burgers, cheese on top, but right?
Yeah.
But apparently they put cheese inside of the burger, which sounds good.
So maybe the dog was named after the burger.
You haven't had a cheeseburger in so long, right?
No.
When was the
It's
last
just
time
impossible.
when was the last time you had a real cheeseburger?
I don't know. I technically stopped eating meat in like high school.
Oh, wow.
But I've had, some dalliances here and there, but I don't know if a real hamburger has been one of them.
Okay. Well, I guess my overall thoughts on OC, you want to close the chapter on OC? We talked about everything. I mean, this is not, in Andy's words, a full-blown rebound season to me. There are still some glaring problems.
Yeah.
But I did see sparks in episode 6 of fun and
Mostly just the balls.
merit. Yeah, 2 sparks. I saw 2 sparks. What's his name's balls? But I think I saw merit here, and definitely the Jen and Ryan stuff is getting more interesting.
Yeah.
When Emily's back in the fold, I think it'll be great. And then Gina is just continuing to flop. You sort of just have to disregard what Gina is doing in every scene. Sort of just like, not watch
Yeah.
when Gina's on camera, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think a lot of people like her. I'm not one of them.
Who? People like Gina?
When I was reading the comments on that Teddy thing, people were anti-Teddy and pro-Gina.
Well, no one ever, anyone in comparison to
Comments
people,
are
no,
BS.
no one is, the internet has never hated anyone more than Teddy.
Right.
I think she's so boring. It's like,
Right.
I don't
It's
think-
also nothing against pregnant women. We love our mamas, but
we
it's
love
a
our
little
mamas.
our mamas.
Oh, right. Yes.
But it is kind of unfortunate when a large portion of your time on Housewives you're pregnant because you can't quite get into it.
Yes. Has there ever been a pregnant person who has had a stellar...
Brought the noise.
Huh?
I mean,
Well, Bethany and Bethany Ever After was pregnant during the entire...
that's true.
Was the first season of Bethany Ever After?
Right, because she's pregnant at the wedding.
I mean,
Bethany getting married.
she had an iconic season
She
no matter what you
Peas
say
in
about-
a trash can at her own wedding.
Yeah, right. So she was still good on camera. If you're so entertaining that even pregnancy, doesn't slow you down, but it's a huge detriment.
And she was
if you're-
pregnant at Turtle Time. Scary Island, she was pregnant, right?
She was? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and she killed it. I mean, that was the best. Go to sleep.
Yes.
Well, let's go to sleep on the OC and talk about Crappie
Yes.
Lake.
The only thing I'm going to
Oh,
say
sorry.
about Watch What Happens Live that had Meghan King on it, Gina and Meghan King, Andy asked, because Meghan King for like 1 second married Cuff Biden. Biden's
That was
nephew?
Meghan King Biden?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How long did they date?
They were married for like a very short amount of time, like months.
So she was Meghan King Edmonds. She was married to that baseball guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Jim
and they got
Edmonds.
divorced off camera. He had
Yeah.
a cheating scandal.
Yeah.
And then
And she had twins with Jim, right?
right, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And he was making her
But
do
he
all
was
the
an
work and she was
asshole.
so stressed out, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, she spontaneously married a Biden family member, and
which Biden?
his name is Cuff.
Cuff Biden?
Yeah.
Did they get married on the White House lawn?
I think they got married in like her backyard, but Biden came.
So Meghan
The president
King
came.
Biden has met
Joe
President
Biden.
Joe
Yes.
Biden.
Yeah. And Andy asked what her wedding gift from Joe Biden was. and
Ice
she-
cream.
He's like, listen, that was kind of Obama. Sorry. He's like, Megan, look. She said she got a giant crystal bowl with the presidential seal on it. And she said that even though they got divorced, she got to keep it. And-
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And Andy was like, that's all made it all worth it. And she was like, it was not worth it. So I don't really know what happened. I think it was something really bad.
Well, okay. Cuff Biden could get one of those bowls anytime he wants, so I think it's nice that he let Meghan get that.
I would eat cereal out of it.
Me too. She needs to show that thing off.
I would eat Crispix. What
Crispix
would you
the
eat?
cereal?
Yeah.
Oh, I would only eat the best cereal out of that. I think Raisin Bran
Okay.
or Trader Joe's has this strawberry flakes cereal.
Okay.
One of those.
Is it like Special K with
It's
strawberry?
like Special K, but with actual. Yeah. It's just like Special K.
Okay.
Trader Joe's has to have their own off-brand cereals.
Yeah.
They're all. No, most of them aren't good. Like their Honey Nut Cheerios equivalent is not good at all.
Okay.
But their Raisin Bran is really good. Do you like Raisin Bran?
I don't know how I feel about raisins.
Oh, just in general.
Yeah.
Okay. I would eat maybe the one time I did it, I would eat like Captain Crunch because I would be splurging and having a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
What about popcorn? Movie popcorn?
Oh, I love movies and I love popcorn, so that would be really fun. I'm seeing Mission Impossible, not to get back to Tom Cruise, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing Mission Impossible Saturday at the
Okay.
Alamo Draft House.
Nice.
And word on the street is that Tom Cruise is going to be in the front row. Are you excited?
He's picking me up right after you leave
He
on a
is?
motorcycle, and we're going to City Walk.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
He's going to drive in a motorcycle to City Walk?
Yeah.
That's-
No helmets.
Where do you think he'll park?
He can just pull up right at that valet area.
And someone else just takes over
Yeah.
the motorcycle for him?
Yeah.
Do people, when they valet park a motorcycle, do they
That's a
motorcycle
good
it?
question. Maybe we'll go all the way up Jurassic parking, and then we'll launch off the side straight into the movie theater.
Do you think projectile seats and then parachutes?
Yes.
And
then
then
we'll
how
get
will
movie
you get
popcorn.
in? Did you ever see Fallout, Mission Impossible Fallout?
Yes.
Maybe you guys will do the same parachuting scene, but you'll go on top of the City Walk theater.
Yeah.
But then what the hell are you going to do? Crawl down and then get in?
We'll do like when he I don't remember which one this was, maybe the fourth one, when he goes in that water turbine.
Oh yeah, the fifth
and
one.
he has to hold his breath for 6 minutes.
He almost dies.
Yeah, we can do that, but just through the vents.
Okay. the vents.
We'll
They,
be in
like,
or the pipes.
Okay, that's awesome. So you'll kind of have this like really cool stunt-filled thing where you're you're landing in a parachute on top of the building, but then you have to crawl
we'll
through.
ditch the bike, you
Yeah.
know, like in the trailer where he jumps off the bike and just
Yes.
free falls
Right.
for 10 seconds.
Right.
So
Dun 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 dun.
and
dun.
did you hear the bike was just left at the bottom of the ditch with the camera on it, and they would just like go down and retrieve the camera and just see what survived.
I didn't even see that. That
Yeah.
stunt looks so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of him. He's gonna go to space soon.
If anyone can do it, he can do it.
Yep. Okay.
All right,
Crappie Lake.
Lake.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Generally, you already hinted at it, but I wanted you to wait till we're on mic. Tell me, what did you think about the first 2 episodes of Luann and Sonya? Welcome to Crappie Lake.
Honestly, I think its saving grace is that the episodes are 21 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So you cannot go wrong.
It's like a breeze.
Yeah, it's just couldn't be shorter. It's extremely silly. They make no attempt to set up the premise. They just say, we're flying these bitches out there. Get used to it. It's simple life. Don't think about it. Who
Yes.
cares?
Well, yes, but they do say within the episode, they say that Benton, Illinois, suffered so much through COVID. That
Yeah.
It's like a ghost town now. There's only 7,000 people that live there.
Yeah.
And they want to spark tourism with
Right.
2 huge, stars.
Right. And
so-
I guess one of the producers, who I didn't look into it, is he like a Housewives producer?
I looked into it.
Okay.
He produced like 20 episodes of Simple Life at
Oh.
the very start of his career.
Okay.
So he has an association with Simple Life, which is the show that's the model for this show.
Yeah.
He also worked on a lot of Kardashians episodes. So
Okay.
he hasn't actually had a Housewives Bravo
Okay.
era. Then he was on a show called Total Divas,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's his main claim to fame. He was
That's
on
on
Total Divas.
E, right?
I don't know. I've never seen it, but that's
I think it might be. Is it about wrestlers? I don't know. Anyways, go on.
Total Divas.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. But so this is a non-Bravo I mean, it is Bravo, but he doesn't have Bravo
Right.
expertise. But he comes in like, I would say, a wrecking ball in his first scene. The mayor's having a town council, and he says, "We've got a former track star who turned into a Hollywood producer, who came in here." And then Russell comes in, and he goes, "A former track star now featuring a dad bod," and everybody laughs at the top of their lungs. He's like, it's kind of the most iconic entrance I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love that he put himself in,
Yeah.
and he said, his parents still live there, and his twin brother still lives there, and so I thought that was funny that it was just a guy who had an idea for a show and it was like, let's do it there.
Yeah, it was very cool, and I liked that, and I like the fourth wall break of like, I'm a producer, and I thought this would be a good idea.
Yeah, it did have that simple life quality of realism. Like, I mean, it's very set up and fake generally, but the people feel real.
Yes.
And Sonya, mostly Sonya, but also Luann, are so insane
Yes.
that they can't help but be themselves. And when they're this is later, but when they end up going to that bar, I was like, anything can happen here.
Anything can happen anytime Sonya is on camera for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You never know what she's going to do.
I mean, the first thing that happens is she says that she is leaking from her lipo incisions.
Right. Just before we get into it, who are your top 3 favorite townspeople?
Oh, wow. Okay. I want to know more about the motel owner because he seems like he's always drunk.
So he's my second favorite.
Okay.
He both of his 3 scenes, he shines like a star.
He's smiling.
When he's putting the sign up, he's amazing. When he goes into Sonia's room and sees the dildo, he goes, "I love that dildo. What's going on over there?" And then I love him at the barn bar. He kills it.
Yeah. I mean, the theater guy is fun.
Number 1.
Okay.
Bill and his wife, Kathy.
Karen.
They're amazing. He is so cool.
I love that he's so unimpressed with them. Like, he's just like, what in the hell?
Yeah, I love that people don't know who they are, so they have none of the like awkward on camera. They're not starstruck at all by
No.
Sonya and Luann.
I thought it was very funny that there was a buildup of who they wanted or hoped was coming.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Right.
When someone says Vin Diesel, someone goes, "Oh, that would be a good one."
Yeah.
And then someone says The Rock, and the last one is Jessica Alba.
I think that was a guy, right?
I think so.
I think he just wanted a hot woman to come.
But like, what the fuck is the last movie that Jessica Alba
Right.
made?
Well, Kardashians make sense. Someone must have known what this townsperson, former
Right.
townsperson, went on to work on show
Yeah.
wise. So Kardashians made sense. But the other ones are just their favorite celebrities or whatever.
Vin
Jessica.
Diesel and Jessica Alba.
Yeah. Oh, and then my third favorite townsperson is the coal miner.
Yeah. Just covered in coal
He
dust.
just got done coal mining.
And he's like, these Beverly Hills ladies. And I'm like, they're not from Beverly Hills, first
Right.
of all.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps calling them Hollywood. I'm like, New York City.
Yeah.
Put some respect.
Yeah, they're from New York.
That's really funny. Yeah, I love when they're on the private plane, which first of all, it was making me claustrophobic that they were so hot on the plane.
Yes.
I was like, why isn't there AC on the plane?
Well, I'm completely flight phobic or whatever that is.
That
And
was
so-
a tiny
well,
plane.
and it was rocking and going up and down. Sonya was really scared.
I didn't like
it's
it.
a private plane. I mean,
made
that
me
was
nervous.
That was awful.
And then when they look out the window, Luann's like, there's a demonstration. She thought that they were rioting in the streets to keep them out.
yeah, I don't think she could imagine that there was that many people rallying to see them, which is kind of sweet.
Yeah, but I love that she was like, she said it on Watch What Happens. She was like, she said that her first instinct was that she was like, they really don't want us here.
Yeah, I wonder why. They're protesting our presence in their town.
Get out.
And they had signs. The signs would say no,
No
turn back around.
countess here.
Yeah. Luann. Well, okay. General thoughts before we get into the thick of it. I loved watching this, but only because I think the premise is silly, and watching them do anything though is fun.
Yeah.
But this is such a shtick and so
Right.
artificial. And that this isn't my type of entertainment. I didn't watch Simple Life. I
Yeah.
don't really like the constraints of this type of show.
Yeah.
I just like watching Sonya and Luann. Sonya.
Yeah.
Sonya Morgan.
Well,
Sonya.
yeah.
And Sonya.
But,
Sonya.
Luann says Sonya.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sonya. I say Sonya Morgan. But
I did like that once they landed and were figuring out the car and everything, Luann just kept going, Mayor!
yeah.
Mayor, come
Yeah.
help me, Mayor!
I love that the mayor is so accessible. I love that the mayor is
He's
just
in
walking
the back
right.
seat with them wearing Sonya's hat.
Oh yeah, I also love that they said what Benton is famous for, and they were like, "We have the only, the world's only mural of George Harrison, the Beatle." I was like, "What the hell?" So
Can we fact check that?
First of all, so if anyone, wait. First of all, we have a mural of George Harrison in Los Angeles, obviously.
But is it just him?
So it has to be just isolated George
Yes.
Harrison post Beatles career. Well, I was just like, that's such a fickle.
It's like how Guinness Book, it's so specific that it's okay, you're the only one that's swallowed 400 marbles or
But
whatever.
if someone has 401, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you have the only mural of George Harrison. First, exactly what you said. Fact check that. I'm sure someone has one, but also it's just a claim to fame that anyone can get within a day.
Yeah.
I would paint a George Harrison mural right outside of your house right now.
You should do that for TikTok.
But
Be like, look at this, Benton.
let's do it. Let's paint a fun George Harrison mural, just him on his own. Anyway, I just thought that was really silly to me. Moments like that were good.
Yeah.
But this overall, I have to say, it made me sad because Roni, the original Roni
Yeah.
that we've loved for 14 years or however long it is, 13 years, we could have been having that for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
All of that pure fun.
Yeah.
That's just Sonya and Luann.
Yeah.
What if Ramona was there? What if Dorinda was there?
Yeah.
What if Bethany, for some reason, came back? There is so much more entertainment that can be derived that I just can't believe they scrapped all of that.
Yeah.
And
For what?
for what? I felt like when Andy had Luann and Sonya back on the couch,
Yeah.
he was marveling at how entertaining.
He's obsessed with them. He said, he was like, I have nothing to do with this show. It's on Peacock.
Yeah.
He's not a producer. It's super far removed from him. And he was raving about it.
But did he forget that when he decided in his whatever the hell was happening in COVID and Daddy Diaries, when he just woke up with an epiphany that he should scrap RHONY and start the ball rolling on a new RHONY, that has to go down as one of the worst decisions in Bravo history.
Right. So has there been any official commentary about RHONY legacy being no more?
It's not anymore because I don't know why, but they tried to get Jill on RHONY Legacy. Why wouldn't RHONY Legacy just be a continuation of the cast that we loved with no former cast members? Why get Jill in the mix? And then the minute they did, they ruined it.
Right.
Like Jill ruined it by asking for what's it? Oh God, she wanted everyone to get paid the exact same, which was awful because she should not make the same as Luann or Sonya.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just. I can't believe that Andy sacrificed all of that talent, and now we get this show, which is more entertaining than OC Atlanta, and I can assure you is going to be more entertaining than RHONY season 1, the new cast.
I will say that this show gives me a sweet little summer flavor. Like it feels like, because it's a special one-time engagement, it feels very silly and loose, and I guess also because so much of the storyline is about them being hot.
Yes. Oh, right. It's 93 degrees the entire time.
They put up the heat on the screen every day. It gave me a little, I don't know, something satisfying about it, which also, I don't know if you've seen these movies, but I was immediately reminded because the night before I watched Crappie Lake, I watched American Honey. Have you seen that movie?
No. Is that Shia LaBeouf?
Yes, and Riley Keough and other people. And it takes place, it's that A24 poverty aesthetic, like America,
like Florida Project.
Exactly. It's like motels, like they're traveling, and there's a scene in the beginning when they go to a bar and it looks exactly like the bar in Crappie Lake, and also To Leslie, the movie, similar setting, bar looks exactly the same. So I was like, there's like I don't know if it's because I had just watched like a deeply like aesthetic, like American grime movie that I was like, ooh, I'm loving the vibe. Yeah. Like there's like, I don't know, there's something here.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I love it because I love watching Luann and Sonya. Yeah. That anything they do to me is pretty entertaining, but you put them in a bar where there's a bunch of underwear on over their heads and they're pinning up a guy's shirt after he just took it off on a ladder. That's the most entertaining thing in the world.
Totally.
But these shows are so cast dependent. Right. If it's a bad cast, no matter what Housewives franchise it is, you're not going to enjoy it. And I don't know. So just, it makes me bummed out for RHONY. That's it. Totally. But I'm so glad that we get them at least a little bit. But I just think about what we're missing in their lives.
They're so fair game. Yeah. I wrote down their first assignment. They had to go to the mayor's office and see what he wanted from them, and he had quite a laundry list. A
little too much to ask of them in the month that they're there.
The first one, build a new park.
Right.
So, to what capacity, I don't know. What he expects them to do, like physically,
maybe
or
supervise,
come up with an idea. Yeah. Christmas in July. Yeah. Stunt.
So that one's doable. Definitely. Christmas in July. What? Just be on the float or make people excited.
Santa something. Increased tourism. That just takes a lot of thought, though.
But that's inherent to the Christmas in July and
that's all encompassing.
Yes.
Animal shelter.
Okay, a little more
work.
Actual work.
Yeah. And an end of summer performance. Yeah. Which is clearly like the finale.
Yeah. So there's three of them are pretty doable. Christmas in July, summer performance, and then increased tourism is just going to be a byproduct of them being there, probably, and those two things. But yeah, the other two things might not come to fruition.
This actually just reminded me. Sorry, I was in my movie watching era this week. I watched Tu Wong Fu this week. It's really fun. You should watch it. It's on Amazon. Okay. Streaming. Do you know what it is? No. It's it's Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, and it's Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo, and Wesley Snipes playing drag queens. Okay. And they're on a journey from, I think they're going from New York to LA, and in like a vintage convertible, and their car breaks down and they have to, for a weekend, stay in a crappy lake type environment with varying levels of acceptance. But they basically like make all these friends, and at one point the women of the town are planning like a strawberry pie festival or something like that, and it's going to be like super boring, and the drag queens are like, let's come up with some ideas, and they like paint the town red and bring life to the town again. And I'm like, it's giving Crappie Lake.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I felt like the OC trip in Montana, all of a sudden when Heather was like shoveling shit, I was like, this is giving Crappie Lake. Everything's giving Crappie Lake now that Crappie Lake is in the universe.
Yeah. They're basically saying you need to shovel shit at the animal shelter. Yeah. So, but yeah, I just wrote my first note on my next page is Sonya farts.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She said, I have to do gas.
On RHONY, they talk about her flatulence, but I don't think they ever let one fully rip. I feel like this was because it was like a Peacock exclusive. You actually heard it. That was kind of wild. What's
it called? Like bonus. What do they call the uncensored? Never before seen. Yeah. And then she goes, at least it wasn't diarrhea.
Yeah. And Luann says, you're going to scare all the fish. I love that.
Sonya is falling apart.
Oh, I mean, she's been falling apart for 10 years. Yeah. I mean, but she's doing. It seems like she got some stasis there after her liposuction.
Yeah. And so then they go into the Crappie Lake to go noodling.
Yeah.
And when they hit the water, they start singing, "Elegance is learned, my friend."
Oh my
and I was like, okay.
Yeah, right. It was kind of like when they all sung "Tardy for the Party" at the OG dinner. It's like anytime you can bring up a song, I guess you do it.
Yeah, but I was proud of Luann. She did the damn thing.
Luann got the biggest catfish I've ever seen. She pulled it up, and it was like the most heroic
She
moment.
did let it go, but...
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, but that was awesome.
I feel bad for those little catfish. They're trying to burrow in their holes, and then these guys just grab into their little egg holes. Like, leave them alone.
And apparently they're not edible.
Really?
Well, I think Luann's mom... What do they do with them? Huh?
What do they do with them?
You put them on the Billy Bass things.
Oh, yeah. Luann did that crazy impression of her
French
mom.
Canadian
She was like, what you doing around here?
She did a Billy Richard accent, right?
Yeah, Billy Richard was full Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you like Louisiana accents?
Yes.
They're very
well,
the opposite of nondescript, very descript, very specific to a location, and not a lot of people have them.
Yeah.
It calls to mind the guy from True Blood who turned out to be the serial killer. Did you watch True Blood?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Not even the first season?
No.
Oh my God. True Blood is not great, but the first season is definitely interesting, memorable.
Okay. I've thought about it.
And there's,
I like Alexander Skarsgård.
If you're ever in an HBO drought, because for me, HBO is the only network or whatever.
Stoop down to Showtime.
Yeah, I wouldn't even dip into Showtime. That's like HBO's shitty cousin or whatever. But
Homeland's good though.
Homeland is?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard talk of these Showtime shows that are good, and not one
The
has
Affair?
ever been. Yeah, The Affair. The Affair is the level of quality that True Blood is. True Blood is like a B level show on HBO, but it was the 6 Feet Under guy. I don't know if you like that guy.
Alan Ball.
Do you like 6 Feet Under?
Love.
Then you would
one
like
of my
this.
favorite shows of all time.
Then you would love True Blood.
They're
him,
totally different.
but it's him going full genre, like vampire genre. But you can see his entertainment, and I didn't like 6 Feet Under.
Ugh. I almost started watching it the other night again.
I thought the first season, Megan and I were watching it, and it seemed like it wasn't prestige TV yet, which it's a victim of its time. They hadn't figured out that you could do anything on HBO. It was more networky, seemed like, but they were pushing the boundaries of it. But I heard that season 1 was like one of the best seasons, and I was like, I think this is like a C+. So if it doesn't,
I think you should have kept watching, because it did the same thing that Sex and the City did, where it played with all these little style choices, where they would do the advertisements for the formaldehyde and all this. They did like a little more like cheeky shit that kind of fell by the wayside. The way, remember Sex and the City season 1, they would talk directly to camera, like interviewing people on the street, which they just stopped doing.
I heard that the gimmicky stuff.
It ends up being, honestly, it's a everyone said at this point the finale will make you sob.
So you don't agree that like season 1 is the best representation of 6 Feet Under? If we did keep going, it
How
gets
many
better.
seasons is it?
6.
I have the box set if you want to borrow it.
Woo, I'm gonna fire up my
Not that
DVD
it's
player.
not streaming, but I think it's really, really good.
Okay. So I trust you fully. I also have another friend who said it's his favorite show of all time, and I trust his taste as well. So I'll give it another chance.
It's
But
very deep.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, fully honest, I am more scared of death than anyone in the world.
Huh.
A hypochondriac. I mean,
Okay.
obviously. I mean, a lot of people are, but so
Maybe
them,
that's what you didn't like.
yeah, them starting with a death. I mean, it's they do it in a good way where it's like, I don't know,
There's
like
humor,
silly
like
deaths.
everybody. It's like
A guy
Final
falls-
Destination type deaths. Or it's like, bitch
Yeah.
got hit upside the head with a golf ball. Like you could
Yeah.
die all kinds of crazy ways.
I think my fear of flying is just fully pinpointed to me seeing Final Destination in theaters.
I
like-
mean, that movie put an imprint. All those movies put an imprint. I mean, every time you drive behind a truck that has stuff in the back,
Yeah, 'cause
Thinking
they
about
just-
it.
They make you think about all those.
tanning beds,
Yeah.
acupuncture.
So just to go, well, I was just gonna say just to toot Sopranos' horn is that they also were in the same era as 6 Feet Under, a little earlier, and they never had a gimmicky premise that they had to get away from. Like it kind of started groundbreaking that they never had to, So anyway, that's just kind of interesting because it was around the same time as Sex and the City and 6 Feet Under.
Right. Yeah. Well, I love it, and I love Peter Krause, #1 hottie for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is
super
he
hot.
the one that's was married to Lorelai Gilmore?
Yeah. They're divorced though.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But anyway, just True Blood has the best Louisiana accent.
Okay. The Bayou.
Wow, that's pretty good. I could never do that.
Okay, so
So, are we in the second episode?
yes, Sonya on the scooter.
I loved that. That's
She was just busting into everything.
That's the kind of stuff where just Sonya's just like, I'm gonna ride on this scooter, and then she bumps into a TV. She almost breaks it within 1 second of being there. Then she's riding down the hallway. It's just they're just fun every single second.
That's very honestly. That's what The Simple Life was. Just they did not care
Yeah.
to the point of it being rude.
Yeah.
That they were so disruptive and
But they're not rude.
inconsiderate.
But Sonya and Luann are not rude.
No.
They're not doing the thing.
But I
where
was concerned that it was is Bill the theater director?
Yeah.
I was afraid it was his scooter because he was like, "Be careful, that thing goes fast," and I was like, "How do you know?"
It was his. I think it was. It was in his office.
Don't be mean about his scooter.
Who's being mean? They were.
She was abusing his scooter.
I think if you put,
That thing is probably expensive.
I know, but
Probably
if you put,
costs more than a BravoCon VIP weekend ticket.
for sure, probably a VIP ticket. But you put Sonya and a scooter in the same room, you know she's getting on it. It's just kind
Yeah,
of
he
like
should have left the key somewhere else. How much would you pay to see the Benton Follies?
$75.
Oh, okay.
How much would you pay?
$10.
So I will say, where the hell did the amazing interpretive dance with the jigsaw from the Saw franchise come
She
from?
better make the cut.
That is just the most random thing I've ever, you couldn't write that.
No.
I don't think that guy who, the producer from Benton, could have written
No.
that talent. Interpretive dancing with the jigsaw makeup.
I loved it.
She was killing it.
Bill said that in this town, a lot of people are into the dark side.
Yeah.
And when she's doing like a back bend and all this crazy contortionism, he goes, "That's hard to do."
Yeah, he loved it. He was not as dismissive of that as I thought. It's kind of like, isn't that like Paradise Lost a little bit? Isn't that like about a small town that was? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
Okay. It's like where there's goth kids in the community, and then a murder happens in the woods,
Okay.
and the townspeople just think the goths are like
Okay.
into the occult and witchcraft, so they get
Classic trench coat mafia.
Yes, totally. Just to bring it full circle, so they get accused of murder just because they're goths in their town. So you better hope that a murder doesn't happen because they might blame it on the
That girl.
Saw interpretive
Yeah.
dancer. But then there's that little
also-
boy in the unicycle.
The unicycle with the, what do you call that? Xylophone or?
Yes.
I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, and a breath accordion.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
then
that-
Sonya is taking a video of him. She goes, "Oh, well, that's gotta be in." It's just like an absolute shit show. And I'm also like, I love that they're trying to pretend that it's, they're coming up with what to call it, and they're like a cabaret, a Follies, and then you're like, it's a fucking talent show.
Right. Why did Bill not want it to be called a variety show?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Follies makes much less sense.
but Benton Follies is an iconic show.
I want a
name.
shirt with that.
It's let's make it. Benton Follies is such a good show name. Like Sonya is good at
Yeah.
marketing, or no, she's not good at marketing. She's good at
Cheater
creativity.
brand.
Yeah, right.
We skipped over their fire department visit.
Oh, right, right.
And Luann just is like so horny
I
that she's
know.
like, we have to pull in to the fire station. I haven't had sex. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, they both are so open about how horny they are.
Yeah.
Their horny levels are at an all-time high right now.
Luann brings a guy back into like the gym room and goes, "Do you like to party?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What, are you trying to fuck him right now?"
And then she goes, if we're gonna have a party at our motel later, you gotta come.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And then one of the firefighters calls her Leanne.
I know.
And he said that they're full of spice and life.
So yeah, that firefighter said exactly what I was feeling. He goes, "These girls come in like a whirlwind," and I'm like, "It's true. They're just entertaining any minute you're with them." Yeah. So then the talent show. They go, "We need way more talent than this. We can't just have a saw interpretive dancer and a little boy on a unicycle.
Yeah.
We need more."
Luann's like, "We need more talent so that we can figure out the shape of the show."
Right. What would you have
She's
done?
really thinking about it.
What would you have done if they asked you to do a talent?
Maybe I would maybe redo I was just looking through some old photos and I found in 5th grade me and some girlfriends did a dance at the talent show where we dressed as old women and did a choreographed dance to Stayin' Alive
Oh, that's awesome.
with canes.
So the dichotomy of being old and staying alive was the humor
Pure
of it.
comedy.
Yeah. You have a video of that, you said?
Maybe. I have to find it. Might be at my parents' house. I have photos at least.
So could I and someone else be part of the old ladies party,
Yeah.
or would you want to bring back your two friends?
I think it could be all genders.
No, if you want your friends to do it, because I have a different one.
I'm not in touch.
With them? Well, you could, okay.
I could track them down.
You know, Sonya and Luann might want to do it with you.
I'm down.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sonya dressed as an old woman would be really fun.
And you were quintessential, like old lady with curlers in their hair
Yeah.
and glasses
Like
and
we
a
were
robe
like whippersnapper vibes.
and a robe and a,
yeah.
and a what's it called? A bread?
Cane.
No, I was thinking of
Yeah, what did
bread roller.
no. What did Lisa call a walker?
Oh, she called it a oh man, Jimmy
It was
would
like
know.
a name.
Yeah, a Claude, like a I don't know if anyone remembers a
I'll
Julius.
never find it.
A Julius.
Julius. Hold on, I'm gonna look up. Keep talking.
Yeah. Okay, you look it up.
Walker. Alternate name
names
for
or British
Walker.
names.
Yeah.
British names for Walker. I was gonna do a Shakespearean monologue from
what-
like Hamlet or something, and that's what I would do.
Okay.
Okay.
British.
All right. Well, you look it up. I'm going to talk about. Okay. So then after that talent show performance, I was so excited because I was already having fun with that talent show, and I was like, "This is a good show I'm watching." Then they're ready to go out for the first time in Benton, which
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, we haven't even seen them do what they love to do the most, which is nightlife, go out."
Right.
And so I was stoked. They're in the room, they're getting ready. They do a shot of frosé, or they toast a frosé,
Yeah.
and then they drive 6. Oh, I also love that they're driving everywhere on their own. I
Yeah.
haven't seen them drive in New York history.
Right.
Obviously, they always have cars or they have public transportation. So seeing them drive around on their own is so fun. Like,
Yeah, I love that they made it so difficult to get them a car with AC.
right. They waited till the second episode.
Yeah, they were just like,
So you never found that name of that walker?
it isn't coming up. It was
British?
like,
Yeah, it was.
uh,
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I mean, we'll talk about it next week. So they get to the bar, and it's called the Barn. And this bar, I think, looks fun, and everyone is so stoked when they come in. They come in very vibrant. Sonya blasts open the door as hard as she can, and it almost flops back on Luann's head. And everyone's cheering. And then we see actual fans of the Housewives who say, we've been watching you since day one, which I thought was
Give
great.
Luann a hug.
Yeah, they gave him a hug. Then they look up, they see all the underwear and all the T-shirts and stuff, which those are those bartenders all put up their clothes sometime?
Yeah, where they say bartender offerings, or people offer their undergarments to the bartenders.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Well, that man with the goatee said, "Don't wear underwear, never will."
Mm-hmm. Did you get the sense that Luann was attracted to that guy?
A little bit.
She pulled his goatee and sort of like,
he said, "Bah."
yeah, and she goes, bah, back at him. I was kind of like, damn, Luann, are you going to have sex with this guy at the barn?
Yeah. Yeah, and then they meet Billy Richard.
Yeah, and Sonya says, this guy is exactly my type.
Yeah.
She says he's showy and confident, but he's not specifically talking to me, but you can tell he's letting a vibe off that like he wants to be seen.
Yeah.
She goes, he's perfect for me. He's silent but deadly. And she goes, well, that sounds like a fart. And then they do have some chemistry.
Yeah.
Billy's like,
He's down.
yeah. Oh, he's down.
He says he's in town for a short time from Louisiana.
Right.
And when she goes, "If you take your shirt off, I'll lose it."
I loved that. If you take your shirt off, I'll lose it
She's
right
just
now.
like, "I'll lose my fucking mind."
He does it immediately.
And he's just like the most average man you've ever seen. Like, he's not ripped. He's not a hunk, really.
yeah.
He's just a guy.
He's semi-handsome. I mean, he's handsome.
I mean, he's not unattractive,
Right.
but he's not like,
No.
woo!
He's Sonya's type, though. I mean,
I guess so. And then he takes off his shirt, and huge letters on the back say Richard, but Luann goes, "Richard? Who's Richard?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "It's Richard."
Yeah. He knew. He's had that happen before, I'm sure.
And she's like, "Oh, Richard," because, she's so obsessed with speaking French.
Right.
Richard. And then I think it's the goatee man, moons them.
Yes.
And he has a Miller Lite tattoo on his ass.
Not to be outdone with Richard, he shows off this full canvas on his back of some wild imagery I've never seen before. Then he pulls down his pants with no underwear, and he shows that Miller High Life tattoo. And and they have to blur out his ass crack. Did you see that? Because you can't show, I guess, a full ass.
I don't see why not.
No, it's just a crack. You're not
Yeah.
gonna see, but you can't allude to a full ass.
Yeah.
And could they show the Miller High? I think they had to blur out the Miller High Life logo too. Or did they show
I
it?
think I saw it.
Okay.
I mean, it was kind of like
Okay.
non-specific
Yeah.
or something. But,
And then-
but yeah, I think according to Watch What Happens Live, Sonya fully fucked Richard.
dude, he was like so ready at the end of the night. He was like, I'm going to fuck. Like he goes, get in, sweetheart.
Do you think that the crew stopped to make sure that she was okay?
I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure.
Because I've revealed before, but I used to watch a lot of Intervention.
Okay.
And sometimes when people would be like drunk or high or whatever, if they were true documentarians or whatever,
they would check in.
fucking, but like people that are alcoholics drink and drive, but production would have to be like, we cannot let you do
of
that,
course.
you know?
So they have to intercede when it could be harmful.
Right. So I'm like, I'm curious if they touch base.
Well, we
on,
know they don't do that in RHOA at all. I mean, she's had done way worse and stuff like this that they haven't checked in on.
I mean, at least they didn't have far to go
Yeah.
because they said that the hotel was like 6 minutes away from the barn.
So he takes her away. We have to assume they made love. And then the highlights looked good to me from what I saw. I mean, I thought it was just fun enough.
Yeah.
Action-packed, fun, and I loved, seeing them again.
Do you think Sunday's a good night for it?
Is it Sunday nights? HBO night?
That's when it was on, right?
I'm
Or
not
Tuesday?
I'm not sure.
No.
I don't,
Sunday.
I didn't watch it when it was live, so I don't know, but we'll find out. And
Yeah, I also watched it delayed, but I'm pretty sure it was Sunday.
so overall, Atlanta might be in a descent. OC could have a slight resurgence. Maybe there's a spark there. I mean,
Yeah.
not high hopes.
TBD.
And then Crappie is a steady B-level show with sparks of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed myself watching it. I had some laughs.
Okay. Yeah, I laughed. I laughed a couple times. So good. Well, I mean, we're 2 hours and 47 minutes. I feel good about the things we have wrought today.
Yeah.
And brought into the universe.
Any last guesses on what that walker was called?
Called a
It was like a name.
John. Let me ask. I'm gonna ask Siri. I hate doing this on mic, but we're ending the show, so people could just stop listening. Hey Siri, what do British people call a walker? I guess is walker stick and canes. They call it a walker. It says
No, it was called
a Zimmer frame.
Zimmer frame.
A Zimmer frame.
Yes.
Zimmer, named after Zimmer Biomet, who invented the walker for British people. And then it was an invention, I guess. They're trying to keep the claim as this British invention. Okay.
Thank God.
Great. Okay.
That was haunting
Amazing.
me.
Right before the end of the episode.
Zimmer frame.
A Zimmer frame.
I love that she called it that.
Yeah, that was the things you learned.
There's a certain touch of class that LVP has that no one else could ever have.
And she had never said that until the Secrets Revealed episode of season 10. That really
I've
brought
never heard
life.
it.
I know. I want to make a plea to our wonderful listeners. 2 things.
Okay.
Just 2 little things. If you ever want to support Amy and I's, if you want Vanderpump Rules back in your life because you miss it so much and you're tired of just seeing Sandoval crying at Sir as your only form of Vanderpump Rules entertainment, Amy and I have a Patreon that you could subscribe to and listen to our Vanderpump Rules journey from the very start. We are now almost halfway through season 2. We are approaching the absolute golden era of Vanderpump Rules. So please subscribe on Patreon if you liked what you heard today.
We get real silly over that. Over there.
We were pretty silly today, but that's even 10 out of 10.
We get real loose over there. And honestly, you're going to want to
beers.
join our community because the page over there is poppin'. And the comments are really funny and informative.
Yes.
And so not just for listening to us, but to join our little Patreon community there of our dedicated turtles, I think is totally worth $5 a month.
Yeah, we have fun over there. We love our Villa Rosa VIPs. It's like a secret cult, you could almost say, where just the people that are the coolest in the world all gather together and share their thoughts. And then my last request, which you are all tired of this, but please, for the love of God, subscribe on YouTube so we can start making $1 a day from our
I think we need
content.
78 more.
Oh, really? We're at 930? 922?
Yes.
Whoa. 78 of you right now, please. If you like this episode, you don't even have to watch us on YouTube. Just subscribe. It means nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you could just let it sit there for the rest of
We
your
had
life.
a good momentum there for a while, and now we're just ticking slowly to 1,000.
Yeah.
But we need money, you guys. Help us.
Yeah, and then reviews are always
Oh yeah, rate and review.
We love, but we have the best reviews in the world. I love them. If you want to do it and you never have, you can totally. Don't leave us any negative reviews, obviously. But yeah, we would love a review. And those are the only 3 things that Amy and I ask of you. And it's not a hard ask. It's like a polite
request,
suggestion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say to everyone else?
I'm satisfied at how comfortable I feel right now. I'm not sweating balls. I thought it was going to be really bad, but it was fine.
Yeah, I only have like 1 drop of sweat, so I'm good. Well, we love you so much. Amy and I, we can't say it enough. We have never loved anyone more than we love our little turtle cuties, and we hope you sleep good tonight knowing that you heard Amy and I talk
for 3 hours.
For 3 hours, and Amy and I are going to record a Patreon tomorrow, and then we're both going to see Mission Impossible, and we're going to sleep so good.
That's right.
Good night.
Bye.
This one